Hello and welcome to episode 18 of
Is it 18?
Soggy, yeah, episode 18 of Soggy Popcorn.
Oh,
Here with me, as always, is Similina Simon.
Simulator, he's here. Yes, he is. 18 years old now.
18 years old.
It's an episode a year, so yes,
We did it.
finally of age. We did it. Exactly. Getting so long now.
Now we can drink, fuck, and kill people legally this time. So on today's episode, we're going to be talking about the Oscar nominations because they came out this week, and yeah, there's been a lot of hoo-ha about the fact that it's just basically white men
Well,
overcoming the odds, and that seems to be basically it.
yeah, there's a lot of people complaining about the whole whitewashing thing, but I agree, but it's nothing new, really, is it?
No, I mean
When
also
the
it's just
Oscars are
Hollywood
concerned.
generally. So
Yeah,
and also it's a bit of a weird year for film because nothing really
weird slash
happened.
shit. Yeah, it is, isn't it?
It's like the
Um,
Revenant took over, and that was released like only like last week or something.
It's weird, yeah. It's like a crappy, slow race, and then suddenly the fastest horse just turns up and smashes everything out of the way in the last second, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that guy." Because not, like you said, nothing much has happened. It's been pretty uneventful as years go, just by looking at the films, which we'll talk about in a second. But
Yeah,
to magnify just how crap it is, if you compare, not so much last year, because I still wasn't that impressed with the lineup last year, but if you compare to the year before, 2013,
mm.
um, man, those films are awesome compared to this. Like
What
12
was
Years a Slave,
2013?
uh,
Okay,
so,
yeah,
Gravity, 12 Years a Slave, American Hustle, Wolf of Wall Street. What else was on there? Loads of
yeah, it's
stuff.
good.
Yeah, man, that was, I mean, yeah, Gatsby, Captain Phillips, Dallas Buyers Club. That was a pretty vintage
Fuck.
year. But especially because it was 12 Years a Slave versus Gravity for Best Film.
Right.
Remember? Steve McQueen and Thingy,
Yeah,
Inarito.
I
So
knew.
that
I remember
was,
saying his name.
yeah, so that was always going to be, that was like two awesome films that could have won any other year, but one had to win. And then behind it, you still had like DiCaprio in Wolf of Wall Street, and you had ensemble in cast in American Hustle with J Law getting her Oscar and stuff. So that was a pretty goddamn good year. But then you compare that to this year, not so good.
No, so let's go through it. We're going to do it subject by subject. We'll try not to take too long, and then we'll also discuss what films we watched.
Okay.
So let's just jump straight in. So we'll also give what we think will win, but also what we think should win, if that makes sense. So like what we'd pick, and then um,
Yeah,
what will
it does.
probably win.
It does
So
make
let's
sense.
just
Yeah.
jump straight in, just because I've just got it on a list in front of me. So best picture. So it's The Big Short, Bridge of Spies, Brooklyn, Mad Max Fury Road, The Martian, The Revenant, Room, and Spotlight. Now, out of those, I haven't seen Spotlight, and I'm meaning to see it. I
Yeah.
haven't seen Brooklyn, but I will see that.
So
But
what's
what do you think
Brooklyn?
about that list?
I haven't seen Room. Have you seen Room then? You have seen Room,
Yeah, I've
haven't
seen
you?
Room, so I was going to talk about that later on. But yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, yeah, I want to. Yeah, I want to see it. I really want to see Spotlight. I think that's out this or next week, isn't it? I mean, they're all flooding now. They're all coming out.
Yeah,
But yeah, I haven't seen Room, Spotlight, or Brooklyn. But I am very glad that Mad Max made the list. I was going to
yeah,
say
man.
short list, but it's not very short anymore. It's like it used to be shorter,
Yeah,
didn't
it's
it?
like double the films or something than it used to be.
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. It says eight films, but can't they do 10 or something? They increased it, didn't they? Or did they
I
increase
think
it
it
from
was
six to
10,
eight?
and then people were like it's too much,
Yeah, maybe,
and they
yeah.
met in the middle. But I might
Um,
have got that wrong. But I remember the whole
but
point they did it was just basically because it's put
money,
more
that's
bums on
why.
seats.
Yeah,
To be
man,
like,
exactly. If you can have 20 films and nominate for the best Oscar picture,
yeah, it's like then people are gonna go, oh
more
shit, it
people
must
watch
be
it.
good then.
Yeah,
I'll see it.
exactly. Man, this is, it injects a whole new, um, you know, shelf life into a film, doesn't it? As soon as it's nominated for an Oscar, especially one that's been kicking around for a few months. It
Yeah,
always helps. But man, Mad Max, I'm very happy that that's in there. I
yeah,
would love to see Mad Max win it. Um, But yeah, especially seeing as it was released about 6 or 9 months ago, so it's great that it still had the momentum to carry it into Oscar season. It just shows how unique it was. Well, not unique, seeing there's been a few of them before, but just how good it was compared to. Also, how there hasn't been those big epic Oscar films that there usually has been. So whether or not it would have made the cut in a more vintage year like 2 years ago, I don't know, but I'm glad it's in there. But yeah, Big Short, well disappointed in that, and even more disappointed in how much Oscar attention it's got.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's such a shame. But we'll go over that in more detail in a bit. Bridge of Spies, I did enjoy classic Spielberg stuff, watchable, engaging as always. Good performances in there. Nice historical things going on. A lot of action in Berlin, but whether or not it's Best Picture, I don't think it is. And yeah, I haven't seen Brooklyn Martian. I don't know what The Martian is doing in there. I don't think it would be in any other good year of film. I don't think The Martian should be anywhere near Oscars. How can it be in the same category as something like Gravity was? Even I don't think it even had anything on Interstellar. And Interstellar wasn't nominated for Best Picture, was it?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, Martian.
No, it's like best sound and best editing or something.
I don't know how The Martian was there, and it shouldn't be there. I haven't seen Room and Spotlight, and then The Revenant I'm seeing in a couple of days' time. I don't know whether that's could blow everything else out the water. I can't say yet because I still haven't seen it, but that's what I think about the Best Picture category.
Well, yeah, I mean, so Brooklyn, I should say, is basically like a romantic drama thing about a young couple moving to Brooklyn, essentially. But I haven't seen it. Room is, I don't know if you know this or not. I don't even know how much to give away because the thing is, I read the book like years and years ago, and the book was good.
Yeah,
it wasn't great, but it was good. And when I heard they were doing a film in it, I was like, okay.
I know.
But when I actually, yeah, so I didn't know what. Yeah, because it's about like a little boy basically and a woman trapped in a room by some fucking sick bloke. But Best Picture, I don't know. The only thing is, it's one of the few films which I would say is actually better than the book, by a million as well. Like, but I'll get into that. But Spotlight, I haven't seen. But if anyone knows, it's like a newspaper, like All the President's Men kind of thing, I think.
Yeah, well, it's about exposing the church and some like priests and stuff, isn't it? For doing a little bit of
yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
Dodgy, kitty fiddling.
Yeah,
So
I mean, so out of those,
it's a big movie. Spotlight. It's about a big subject. Yeah, about the cover up of sexual abuse within the Catholic Church. Roman Catholic Church.
Yeah.
Funny enough, because I was in Rome earlier this morning and just got back. So looking at it's kind of we're just discussing it very quickly before we started the podcast. But I'd never been to Rome before. But looking around and seeing just how crazy, massive, and awe-inspiring everything to do with the church is there, and seeing the Vatican as it is in the city, and how that church is not short of money, is it? That is just.
No.
There's just ridiculous amount of wealth going on. Apparently, the Vatican is worth like obviously millions and millions, but apparently, not so long ago, they announced that during that, like when everybody else didn't have money, they were like, "Oh yeah, we just found another couple of million euros in a file guys that we had. So don't worry, the Vatican City is safe, and we've got plenty of money.
We're safe."
Yeah, so they're like, we found a few million euros, so don't worry about us, we'll be good. But yeah, one thing that struck me, because I'm not particularly of a place of pilgrimage for those who are, but it just struck me that there's so much money and so much power here. So yeah, apparently the Spotlight movie is quite a brave take on the covering up of sexual abuse in the Catholic Church. So it hasn't come out here. It hasn't come out here just yet. In the next few days, / it may have come out literally like in the last day or two. But that's causing some pretty big waves. So yeah, maybe that could be a dark horse. You never know. And it's got some really good performances. I think particularly Mark Ruffalo. Right, people are talking about. So
okay,
yeah, you never know. That's the kind of film that over the next month you could build up a bit more attention and momentum leading into it, because they try and give other films a bit more competition, don't they, in the lead up to it. so it's not a one horse race. And I got a feeling Spotlight could be that dark horse.
Interesting. Well, yeah, I mean, I think that looking at it, so I did see The Revenant, and it is it's pretty good. I mean, I would like to see Mad Max win just because it would be so weird for it to win, because all the time it's always these big epic kind of dramas that are all like emotional and whatever. And for that to win Best Picture would be absolutely amazing. But I do think The Revenant will probably win, and I would be happy with that. To be honest, I'd be happy with like, I mean, I know we're saying what a crap year it was, but apart from like The Martian and The Big Short, I mean, the rest of them seem pretty good. So it's not as if like,
No, I mean it's just they're solid movies. You know, there's no like real. I mean, The Martian's pretty shit, but there's no real duds in there. But the thing is, yeah, it's a tricky one, you know, because looking at it on paper, The Revenant is the out and out favorite, because surely The Big Short can't win. You know, sober heads will prevail at the end of the day, and hopefully people realize, okay, it's not as good as we're trying to bill it as. Bridge of Spies is just it hasn't got the weight to win, and you know Spielberg hasn't been nominated for director, has it either? So it's often quite strange that a big Best Picture can win and then the director not get nominated.
good point.
Yeah, Brooklyn Room seem like quite small stories, intimate stories, more about performances, aren't they? Especially the two girls. You've got Brie Larson, right, and Saoirse Ronan, however you pronounce her name.
Yeah.
So those two are like big breakout performances. Mad Max is a blockbuster, isn't it? So it's a weird one. So I just don't think that can win. And then The Martian was shit. Sci-fi for one thing, which, you know, Gravity obviously got the big award a couple of years ago, but The Martian, it's just, I don't even know what's doing there. So I can't see anything giving The Revenant competition apart from perhaps something like Spotlight because of the subject matter.
Yeah, but just because of what like happened for The Revenant, like how they made it, and everything that's behind it as well, just like you know, it's pretty flawless.
But do you think he can win 2 years in a row, Best Director and Best Picture?
No, it's crazy. Well, as well, like you think of Gravity, Birdman, and then this. It's
well,
like
yeah, I know.
taking
it's
over,
fucking crazy. I mean,
taking over the fucking Oscars.
Well,
what's
I mean,
weird?
if he does win, if he was to win, he didn't get. Did he get Best Director for Gravity?
I don't know.
He got Best. What did he get again? All right, let's have a quick look. He got Best Director, but Steve McQueen got Best. Oh well, it's 12 Years a Slave got Best Picture, didn't it?
That sounds right. Yeah.
I really wanted Steve McQueen to get Best Director. I remember that year. I wanted it to be the other way around. Gravity to get Best Picture, just as a crazy epic adventure, and then Steve McQueen to get Best Picture Director.
Yeah.
So yeah, he could fucking hell. He could do 3 in a row. He could get 3 in a row.
Yeah.
That surely has never. Oh, no. What we're talking about? No, it's Alfonso. Oh, sorry.
It's Alfonso Cuarón.
Being a retard. Alfonso Cuarón did Gravity, didn't he?
That's
idiot. And Inarritu, yeah, it was Birdman.
Shit, that's really racist of us.
Yeah, I know.
Some like Mexican Spanish guy, right? Just because
let's shut the podcast down now.
That's it, done.
We had a good around 18 episodes.
They finally found us out.
We don't know what we were talking about. But yeah, so anyway, but even the fact that he could get 2 in a row, Birdman and then Revenant, is pretty crazy in itself.
Yeah, true.
So I don't know, but yeah.
It must have been. There is a connection though to Gravity. It must be something like they had the same cinematographer or something.
I can't remember.
Oh man, it's gonna really annoy me. Okay, I can't be bothered to look it up now. But fucking bastard. I'm just looking at what else he directed. Oh yeah, Beautiful Babel. Yeah, Morris Paris, of course.
Yeah, Morris Paris is the first one.
Right, sure, I've got it the right way around.
Yeah,
okay, well, that's
exactly.
Best Picture. So what do you reckon? I reckon Revenant will probably get it, and I'd be happy with that. But yeah, I know you haven't seen it, so it's hard for you to say. But
no, I would. I mean, like I said, I can't see anything winning Best Picture apart from Revenant, and the only thing that could possibly give it any competition is Spotlight. And I think they'll try and drum up some competition because it's going to be a one-horse race. But I think Revenant's going to get it, and I haven't even seen the fucking thing. That's how predictable and
that's the Oscars.
That's the Oscars, isn't it? There you go.
Okay, well, let's move on to Best Actor. So we've got Bryan Cranston for Trumbo.
Straight to Best Actor. Yeah.
Matt Damon. Well, actually, because I've got it in front of me in this way. Matt Damon, The Martian. Leonardo DiCaprio, The Revenant. Michael Fassbender, Steve Jobs. Eddie Redmayne, The Danish Girl. So I should say I'm halfway through in my dreams of Trumbo.
Halfway through Trumbo. Did you leave the cinema?
I left the cinema halfway through. I fell asleep.
You're still in cinema now, doing a podcast in the toilet.
Yeah,
go back in.
Go back in.
Stop, pause, guys. Pause it.
Pause here.
So tell me, what is Trumbo about anyway?
Trumbo's basically like the McCarthy thing, the blacklist of Hollywood.
I see.
And Trumbo was a screenwriter who had to kind of go through it. It's his acting is typical Cranston.
Yeah,
it's nothing special. It's good that he got a nod because he's just generally a good actor.
Yeah, he's great, isn't he?
Yeah, but there's nothing like it's just a decent performance. There's nothing there which is like that is super special. You're not watching it going amazing acting. Can't believe it.
It's the only thing that it's got, isn't it? Is a performance nomination for him. Who's even directed it?
I can't remember.
Jay Roach has directed it.
Holy fuck! Really weird. Okay.
Yeah, so he's the campaign guy who did the campaign and Meet the Fockers and stuff. So he's a comedy guy. Fucking the guy he did like Austin Powers and stuff, didn't he? So
yeah, I mean, so far what I've watched, it's all right. It's one of those classic, like I'm not bored.
But not a Oscar-winning performance.
No, Matt Damon, The Martian. Just forget.
I don't know what he's doing in it. Honestly,
weird.
I mean,
DiCaprio, The Revenant.
Yeah,
gone.
No, Matt Damon. Like, it just shows also what a joke the Golden Globes is, because to put The Martian down as a comedy just so he could win.
That's so weird.
Bullshit. Anyway, did he win? He did.
Well, no. I think The Martian won Best Comedy / Musical.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, comedy / musical. But the fact that Martian was even in there is just tenuous.
So weird.
Everybody gets nominated for fucking Golden Globe. Even like Amy Schumer was nominated for Trainwreck just because it was just a crass comedy. And all sorts of people. It's funny. Did you see the opening speech by Ricky Gervais, the monologue thing?
No, I don't think so. I saw a little bit. It's pretty
funny. Yeah, he did the same things before, sitting there, standing there with a pint in his hand, just taking the piss out of as many people as he could. And
Brilliant.
even the Golden Globes, he was like, these do not matter at all. When you say something like for the people who are about to win and come up on the stage to accept one of these awards, you are the only person who cares about getting this award. No one else cares. Like, that is so funny. Yeah. He's like, I've got three of them. He's got one. So one's what does it say? One's a paperweight, one's a doorstop, and the other one's sitting next to my bed. And I don't need to exactly explain what I do with that at night time. And then everyone's kind of like awkwardly laughing because you could tell. And then it cuts to like all the famous faces sitting there around their stupid dining tables and everything, the way they do at the Globes, acting like they're all best mates and just had fucking dinner, and then now this is the entertainment. You could just tell some of them are not sure whether they should laugh at his jokes. Like almost like their publicists again, just don't laugh at all of Ricky Gervais's jokes, especially the rude ones. It doesn't look good. So they're just really awkwardly laughing. There's only a couple who are just like thinking, "Fuck it, I'm just going to belt out massive laughter." And then he's just like, "Yes, I'm referring to sticking a Golden Globe up my bum." So that's what it's come to. It was pretty good. It was pretty funny. And as usual, he's just taking the piss. But it is a bit of a joke. So the fact that Matt Damon was, The Martian was on as a fucking comedy musical, and that he shouldn't even be in this list. But there's only going to be one winner. Now, the only performance I haven't seen from this list is Bryan Cranston. That's why I was wondering if he's Oscar worthy or not. Oh yeah, but that's the one horse, isn't it?
I mean, you could guess. Like that's what I mean. Like DiCaprio. No, I mean he's so fucking good in it. I mean, he's great anyway. It reminds me of Freddy when I was watching it, and I think it's only because it's snow and that era was like Gangs of New York or something.
Oh right,
just like long hair, long beard kind of thing.
I mean,
weird.
I've talked about this with people in the last few days. That I mean, the only person they could potentially, possibly give it to, apart from DiCaprio for time served, is Cranston. But obviously, it sounds like it's not quite the right role.
No, if he won it, it'd be like, really?
Man,
Like,
if anyone won it, apart from DiCaprio,
I don't know, man. I mean, I know we're going to go into it, but Eddie Redmayne,
that's the
pretty
only.
bold.
It's the only person who could give him competition. If he hadn't won last year, I'd say okay, it's a 2-horse race.
Yeah,
But they can't give it to him 2 years in a row, especially a British guy, especially someone as young as him. He's only 34, 35. They can't do it. They're not going to do it. And Fassbender, I don't know what the fuck he's doing on this list. As much as I do think he's a good actor, I think with Steve Jobs, it was a shit film and a boring performance, an easy performance as well,
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I haven't seen it. You have, but it's DiCaprio's year. Everything is just being constructed, so it's DiCaprio's runaway year. Surely.
Yeah, he's still got it, man. I reckon he will win it and should win it out of that lot.
Yeah,
Eddie Redmayne was good.
he is very good.
I'd be happy with that as well.
But he's not as good as he was last year. I don't think.
I can't remember what he won it for. What did he win it for again?
The Everything is Everything.
Theory of Bumholes.
He was. I mean, he was amazing as Stephen Hawkins. He was incredible.
I didn't see it.
Didn't you? Fuck, man. That wasn't a vintage year either. It wasn't the best year last year. We were sitting here saying the same thing, weren't we? And Birdman getting most of the awards. I felt a little bit disappointed with Birdman.
Yeah.
But remember then it was all about Keaton. And
yeah.
then Redman stole it last second. But that was an incredible performance. And I could just, I don't know, let's go back to him later when we review the film.
Yeah, but it's good.
You know what? The only possible outside chance that DiCaprio might have tripped himself up is this whole eco warrior kind of stuff and his speech at the Globes, and how some people in the studios may be a little bit tired of his preaching about destroying the world and everything. So
there must be used to it, surely. People do.
Yeah, I mean, fucking hell, he's still like a Hollywood poster boy, isn't he? But man, I mean, he hasn't made any duds, has he? Really?
Well, yeah, not for.
I mean,
I can't remember like the last film I saw where I thought, God, that's terrible.
No, I mean, he
even Pet Sematary 2.
Yeah, even that was a fucking smart choice. Yeah, I mean, he just picks his role so well, doesn't he? Yeah. He's worked with the who's who of directors. He's worked with them all. He's done them all.
Yes.
Literally at the bum. And like Wolf of Wall Street, he probably should have, got it. He arguably was robbed that year. I mean, you look at the stuff like Wall Street, Gatsby, Django. Okay, J. Edgar. I haven't.
J. Edgar. That was terrible.
Maybe a dud, but then that was just him just going, okay, Clint Eastwood, let's work together, let's do this. So I kind of don't blame him.
What the fuck is Don's Plum? What's that? I'm looking at IMDb and it says everyone else.
Don's
Celebrity. I don't know what that is. Man in the Eye Mask I really liked. And Titanic.
Yeah, but this is when he's basically a kid. I mean, Basketball Diaries. How amazing was he in Basketball Diaries? And Quick and the Dead as well.
Yeah, he's good in that. What's he in Gilbert Grape?
Oh yeah, Don's Plum. Don's Plum. He went from Don's Plum one year to Gangs of New York. What the fuck's Don's Plum then?
He wasn't in Pet Sematary 2. Who was in Pet Sematary 2 then?
Oh, wasn't he? Someone like that.
Maybe it was Terminator Kid.
Yeah, was it? Oh, okay. Yeah. But yeah, I loved him in Basketball Diaries, man. But yeah, Catch Me If You Can, Aviator, it was all good stuff. Departed, Blood Diamond, okay, maybe not. Revolution Road.
Oh man, I like Blood Diamond.
Yeah, but it's his accent. Yeah,
I liked it.
Yeah,
his accent was good.
Yeah, Inception, man, this guy, like, got to think about all the like superhero films and like roles that he's probably turned down over the years. I mean, he's done the ultimate blockbuster in Titanic, but think about all the shit that he probably turned down, all the stuff that his agent and everyone was saying, you should probably do this, you could be the next fucking James Bond or whatever the hell you want to be. But he's just chosen intelligent roles, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Pretty admirable. So yeah, I hope he wins it, and I think he'll win it.
Yeah. So do I. Best actress is going to it's Kate Blanchett for Carol, Brie Larson Room, Jennifer Lawrence Joy, Charlotte Rampling 45 Years, Suarez from Non for Brooklyn.
Naan bread.
Naan bread. What do you think of that list?
I've only seen. Oh, sweet. Jesus, I've only seen Joy of those
Seen
5.
Joy.
I
Well,
again, I don't know why she's up for it. I thought Joy was quite underwhelming, and again, she's good in it. She's doing what we all know she's capable of doing, and it's a pretty strong performance with a little bit of gravitas because she's this whole single mother and driving force of the film. But I don't think it's an Oscar-winning performance, right? And Joy.
mm,
She seems to have come of age in
yeah,
it.
true.
When I was watching, I was thinking she looks like fully, like not like young girl, young woman anymore, but proper, like the poppy fat's gone, and Jennifer Lawrence seems just like older and wiser now. But apart from that,
Mm.
I don't see anything too special about the performance. But that's it. I can't really comment on the other ones. So in terms of who deserves
Well, I
it,
mean, like
fuck knows.
Kate Blanchett was good. I'm
Yeah, you said
looking at the
that.
list. I think it's really between. I mean, I haven't seen 45 Years, but I've got a feeling. I don't think it would win. Maybe it will, but from
Yeah.
what I've seen of the film, I don't know if it's Best Actress worthy. And
But she can't win another one, can
she
she?
come in a bum.
On 2.
Who?
Blanchett.
Charlotte Rampling.
No.
Oh,
Sorry,
got
she's just
Blanchett.
going back
Okay.
to Blanchett. Yeah. Because the
Um,
thing is, like, unfortunately, we can't really go. These are the performances. Which one will win? Does like based on the performances? Because it's such a fucking political game, isn't it?
yeah.
So often you make the predictions is about what they've done slash earned in the
Deserve.
past, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's why with. I mean she's good in it, but again, like Carol is a film that's trying to it's freaking itself off trying to get an Oscar,
Yeah.
but and
I
out of
haven't
that,
heard that in ages. Frigging itself off.
but Brooklyn, I don't know. For some reason, I want Soraya to win. I
Yeah.
don't know why. I've not even seen Brooklyn, but I think she's a really good actress. She always plays these like quite delicate performances, even if it's like in stupid action films or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of that one with Eric Bana, but I can't remember. And but I really think that it will probably go to Brie Larson in Room. I'd be really
Yeah.
surprised. I don't think Jennifer Lawrence will get it,
I
but
you're right.
because basically I mean, to be honest, in Room, the kid is like amazing in it.
Yeah, a
But
few people have
she's
said that, as in he's been robbed of a nomination, and we'll go into that in a bit.
Evan, like it's
I'd love
crazy. Like, yeah, we'll go into that a
that
bit later. But
category. Yeah.
I think out of that, Brie Larson should probably win it, and I think
Yeah.
she could win it. But I think Kate Blanchett, they might just give it to Kate Blanchett. Safe hands.
She's a good keeper.
I don't think
Safe
Jennifer.
hands.
I haven't seen. Yeah, I haven't seen Joy, but and I know she won it. She won it, right?
You
She won a
still
Golden
haven't seen
Globe.
it.
Sorry, for
She won it for
Joy.
American Hustle. She's
But what
so,
won Best Actress at Golden Globes then? I thought she
Brie
did.
Larson. No, Brie Larson did, right?
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. It's Brie
Okay.
Larson or Kate Blanchett. I think it should be Brie Larson, and I think
Yeah.
she'll probably get it unless Kate Blanchett takes it in the last minute.
I think Brie Larson will get it, but Brie Larson, I don't know. She's the girl from 21 Jump Street, of course. She was in 21 Jump Street.
Was she? Don't remember.
Yeah. So she's like the main girl in it. You know, the one who in the first film who Jonah Hill is trying to go out with. Blonde girl.
Mate, so instantly forgettable that film, but okay.
But that's the weird
Take a look
thing.
at-
She's gone from fucking being the hot girl on 21 Jump Street to Oscar, potentially Oscar winning in 2/3 years. She's in Community as well. But the only reason I mention it is because I know she's just won the Golden Globe, but I just don't know if she's known enough. It's hard to give someone who, for the Academy, to give something like this to someone who is relatively unknown. So
Yeah.
I really don't know, man. This is quite a tough one. I don't think Kate Blanchett can win 3. It's just too many. Brie Larson is probably the front runner because she's won the Golden Globe and so momentum is in her favour. But I'm just not sure if she's a big enough name. And fucking hell, she's in 21 Jump Street a few years ago. I think a few people might be like, she can't get that.
And it's good though. She's really good in it.
Yeah, I mean, it was just going to be pure performance then. J. Law has already won a supporting for American Hustle, didn't she? And whatever, she's got plenty of Oscar nominations coming her way in next 10 years, so I don't want her to win this one. Swaree's Ronan is too young, man. I don't think she'll win it either. She must be like 20 or something, 21.
Today.
Yeah, what about Charlotte Rampling?
She's like some oldie.
She is old, but I'm just wondering. She's in the swimming pool and Melancholia and stuff.
She's good. Like she's good, but
I don't know. I really don't know, man. This is a hard one. I guess if I had to put my money on it, it'd be Brie Larson, just because, just because of the performance, and they'll probably get behind her, and she'll become a massive star after this.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's move on to best.
Yes.
We'll probably have to speed this up a bit. We've only done 3, and there's like 20.
What do you want to do, director, or do you want to go?
I've got best supporting actor here.
When are we going to director then? After the actors.
We're going to directing, don't worry.
It's
on the list. I'm just doing it by what's been put here. So best supporting actor: Christian Bale, The Big Short; Tom Hardy, The Revenant; Mark Ruffalo, Spotlight; Mark Rylance, Bridge of Spies; Sylvester Stallone, Creed. This for me is one of the most difficult ones to pick, because Christian Bale, I don't think should get it. I'd be super surprised if he got it for The Big Short. I don't even think he wants it for The Big Short. If I had a body of acting behind me like he does,
exactly,
and then I get it for that, I'd be like, what? But
just let's put it on the shelf. I'll get it another time.
But Tom Hardy,
he's already won an Oscar, didn't he? Yeah, ages ago. The Fighter, he got a supporting role.
Yeah, it's true. Actually,
you know what I mean? It's just a fucking club. It's just an elitist club of we've all won Oscars, so who should get this year? Anyway,
who's like Oscar bright? Tom Hardy, The Revenant, he's fucking good. He could do it. Like that wouldn't be bad.
That would be weird. That would just for some reason be very weird if he won it for The Revenant. Because of all the big roles he's done this year, it's not The Revenant he's like being known for.
No,
do you know what I mean?
I don't know. I mean,
just like doing the craze, the legend thing, and doing obviously Mad Max. It'd just be weird that if it's The Revenant that gets. I know it's an supposedly amazing film, but I don't know.
Mark Ruffalo, we haven't seen, but maybe. Yeah. Mark Rylance would be really random to get it. I don't think he should get it. He's all right in it, but whatever. It's not. He's not even in it that much. Let's be honest.
I don't know, man.
And it's weird. Like out of everyone, he's the weirdest one to get fucking best supporting. Like
I disagree. For me, he's my pick.
Really?
Honestly, yeah, I do. Like this, not to cut in, but this is the one I've got a real problem with. This best supporting actor of all the categories, it annoys me because you look at this lineup. The average age of this must be because of. I know you didn't. You haven't seen Creed, have you?
No.
No, man. Sylvester Stallone alone brings the average age of this category up to about 60. I've got a problem with this big time because the whole whitewashing shit aside, so best supporting actor should be for like, that's when you bring in like the new actors and young, talented diversity and stuff. Other people can get a chance. And like, I love Sly to death. Like, Rocky is one of my top probably 5 films of all time, and I've loved the character since I was a kid. But to be nominated for a film as a character you've played for the 7th time and then be nominated just doesn't make sense. And like, you haven't seen it, but Stallone, there's only one reason that he's been nominated for this film, is because something the character goes through. And the film is just not that good, as I said, a couple of weeks ago. So loads of people are saying Michael B. Jordan should be getting a nod for the best actor when he shouldn't. He's not a good performance. He just doesn't look like a boxer. It's an easy performance for someone like that. It's just not a good film, and it's just nostalgia that people are saying this is the reason it's good. And they're just pointing the finger at the nearest young black actor who's playing the lead in a film, which is great. He's got the lead part, it's awesome, but he should not be nominated for an Oscar just because he's black. And Stallone should not be nominated for an Oscar just because he's playing Rocky again. So I think it just does it the whole awards a disservice by even having Stallone in there, because it wasn't an amazing performance. He's played that character 6 times before, and far better performances than this one. And it's just a real shame. And I just think that they could have. I've forgotten his name now. It's like Michael something Mitchell. who played Eazy-E in Straight Outta Compton.
All
I think
right,
would have been really good. I think Straight Outta Compton has been a bit robbed. It hasn't had any attention really, but it's hard to like really say, oh yeah, the young actors in there should be nominated because it's a bit of an ensemble. But if anybody could have got nominated for something like supporting, I think that Eazy, the guy who played Eazy-E, could have been because he was wicked.
yeah,
Bale, like like you said, he's done so many amazing performances, and this is not one of them. It's just the whole time he's sitting in a fucking office chair, and they desperately try to make him more interesting than he is, don't they? With the whole autism and the like being in like metal fan and being like really difficult to talk to and socially inept. But I just think, yeah, he just dialed that performance in. I
yeah.
don't think he could get that at all. So for me, Hardy, I haven't seen it, but that would be wicked. But it's an interesting one, but I'm just let down by it. I think that even like Nicholas Hoult as the ball boy in Mad Max could have been in here. I think there are a lot of young actors that they could have
Wow.
slotted in here. Not that that's an Oscar-winning performance, but I think there's an opportunity to give some new blood a bit of attention instead of giving. All of these guys have been, like apart from Mark Rylance, they've all been nominated or have had Oscar attention in the past.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if it's a thing for it to be like new blood. Like
No,
it's
it doesn't
people
necessarily need
who,
to be, but it's just an opportunity for it. And for me, it just makes, again, just like reflects that it's just the Oscars is becoming more and more of just like a elitist club. Of
yeah,
like, here's your repeat invitation for next year. I haven't made a film yet. Don't worry about it. Make a next a film and you'll be invited.
yeah. You didn't get it this year, but I'm sure next year we'll give you a
That
chance.
just
Whatever
annoys
you
me.
make.
Yeah, and for me, this is the category that sticks out, and it's. But anyway, if of the performances I've seen, I thought Mark Rylance was really good. I really liked his character in it, and that was really understated. But for me, I don't know. He's kind of my weird outside pick. I don't know why. I
Okay.
just got weird. I just really liked him in that film. I thought he was my favorite thing about the film, and he was really poignant and very a sad performance, but really subtle.
Mm.
He didn't do much, did he? He just kind of raised his eyebrows up and down the whole film, and
Would it help?
yeah, yeah. But I thought I really believed his relationship was friendship with him and Hanksy. And towards the end, when he just kind of knew, I don't know, he just see everything was out of his hands, and yeah, his kind of stoic persona and everything. I really liked his performance, so I'd like
Yeah,
to see him
nothing to
take
take
it.
away from his performance, but it's I don't know, like best supporting actor Oscar. I
Yeah,
don't know. I mean, for me, it's like I think it won't go to Tom Hardy because the Revenant's going to clear up in so many other things.
yeah. I don't think it's Hardy's time yet. I think
No,
he's
yeah.
just he's becoming such a big
He's been
actor.
in some of the biggest films like in the last 10
Yeah,
years.
yeah,
But I think it'll probably go to Mark Ruffalo, and I haven't even seen it.
yeah. I think, but I mean, that's a bit of a could be a bit of a time served thing. But he is supposed to be really good at it.
Yeah, and I think it might be the only thing that Spotlight may get.
Yes, yeah, most probably. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so
He's
let's go
nominated.
into.
It's the third time he's been nominated, so
I really
that's
fuck. Okay.
yeah. Because remember, he was nominated for Foxcatcher last year,
Potatoes.
and he was
Oh
really
yeah,
good.
fuck. He was good in
Just, yeah,
that.
he was really good. Yeah, and he was nominated for Kids Are All Right. Kids Are All
He was
Right or
good in
something.
that as well.
So
Well, the
yeah,
kid's all right. He was all right,
well,
and it just felt like that's Mark Ruffalo being Mark Ruffalo. Kids are
yeah, I know what you mean. That was when he was doing Mark Ruffalo a lot, wasn't he, back then?
right.
But now he's doing a lot more diverse roles. So I'd happily see it go to Ruffalo for time served. But I don't know. I kind of want British Spies guy.
Cool. Okay. Well, fair enough. Best Supporting Actress: Jennifer Jason Leigh, The Hateful Eight; Rooney Mara for Carol; Rachel McAdams, Spotlight; Alicia Vikander for The Danish Girl; and Kate Winslet, Steve Jobs. Now, Kate Winslet won the Golden Globe. God knows why. I mean,
She doesn't do much in the film, does she?
no, she just kind of moans a lot, and then she has like one mini breakdown, which
Yeah.
is completely out of character and just completely fucks up the whole scene. 'Cause it's like, I'm just going to leave my job. And it's like, it's weird. Alicia Vikander was good in The Danish Girl.
I thought she was really good.
Yeah,
I actually thought she was better than him
yeah,
in
she was
a weird
in a
way.
weird way. Yeah, because it's
Harder
like I
role,
definitely
man.
resonated more with her
Yeah,
because she
I
was
did.
completely selfless the whole time.
Man, yeah, this is something we're going to talk about in a bit,
Yeah,
right?
we'll talk about it afterwards.
But
But Rachel McAdams, Spotlight, I haven't seen, no idea. Rooney Mara, Carol, not great. I mean, the whole, but the kind of her whole thing is that she's supposed to be quite constrained and
Really?
kind of introverted a little bit, so that don't know, it kind of works for that. But at the same time, I didn't watch it going, that was great. Jennifer Jason Leigh was really good in The Hateful Eight, and if she won it, I'd be like, okay, fair enough. But it is kind of like Jennifer Jason Leigh is known for being a fucking weirdo, and like this is right up her street. I didn't watch it going, she has really put herself out there. I'm just thinking, she's done
that's Jennifer Jason Leigh. Yeah, she's done a lot of stuff.
Perfectly cast. But
I mean, I would be more than happy for her to win it. I thought she was great. She was my favorite thing in it.
Yeah,
her and the sheriff guy, whoever played the sheriff, I've forgotten his name.
Walter Goggins.
Is that?
Yeah, I always remember because, like, did we talk about The Hateful Eight properly?
Yeah, we did. We reviewed it. I didn't mention that.
Okay, because he's been in like The Shield. Like I know him primarily from The Shield, because he's basically one of the main characters.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of TV stuff, hasn't he?
Yeah, and he's really fucking good in The Shield. And also, he was in Sons of Anarchy as the transsexual, and he's really fucking good in that. Justified, he was in that, but he's been in like loads of stuff. But he usually plays like white trash stuff. And he's such a fucking, like, honestly, for me, The Shield, everyone's always like Michael Pickles, whatever his name is. Yeah. But The Shield was actually about Walton Goggins. Like,
really?
That he was strangely like the main character throughout the whole thing, because even he was the one that was he was really into it, and then he realized like the horror of it all, and he was basically made to do all like the bad shit throughout the entire thing, and it just made him go insane. And it's like really tough. Like all the best scenes of The Shield and the most emotionally jarring ones were him. So like he's always had I was just like, he's one of the most incredible TV actors. And
I think he's quite underrated, isn't he? And he does do quite interesting characters. I thought he was alongside her. I thought he was my favorite thing in Hateful Eight. It's a shame he hasn't really had much attention, but I thought he was a great character.
Yeah, man, you should watch The Shield, man. Like, honestly, I know I always bang on about it, but it was really good.
But he was just overshadowed by fucking Samuel L. Jackson in the film, by his character and the performance. His character was always just, Samuel L. Jackson constantly telling him what to do and trying to be bigger than him. But I thought he was really good. But yeah, going back to this category, I would be really happy to see Jennifer Jason Leigh get it. I thought she was wicked, but I don't think she will. And I'm almost surprised she is nominated because of the role. It's so violent and so, like I said, it's such a crazy, horrible character. Do
you think it's just a nod to Tarantino?
Maybe, yeah. It's tough, man. I mean, she's involved in the most violent scenes, and I don't know. I don't think she'll get it because of that. But I thought it'd be very cool. This is actually my most interesting category, I think, because these are a lot like there's young actresses in here as well as more seasoned ones, and they're all relatively big names.
Yeah.
So I like this, and you've got people like Rachel McAdams nominated for the first time, Alicia Vikander nominated for the first time, Rooney Mara has been nominated before, right?
Probably.
Jennifer Jason Leigh, this is her first nomination, I think.
That's the first thing she's got any recognition for ever, probably.
Yeah, like big time, yeah. And then, Rooney Mara, I think this is her second, isn't it? So she was nominated for Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
I mean, if you told me last year Jennifer Jason Leigh is going to be Oscar nominated for
isn't it?
Actress, I'd be like, you are insane. She's like not done anything in since like Existence or something.
Yeah, she's quite a B-movie actress, really, isn't she?
Yeah.
But like I said, she's got a lot crazy in her. I like that. She's done a lot of weird stuff. Amityville sequels and crap like that.
Shit. Like she's done nothing but shit for ages. It's one of those typical Oscar things where it's like, bring them out, and then she's just going to go back in.
Go back in.
You'll never hear about her again.
Well, I don't think she'll get it. I think Alicia Vikander, she's been, like I said a couple of months ago, she's like my pick that she's going to become really, really big. When she did what she did recently that we were talking about, Man from Uncle, and she did the Ex Machina, and then obviously Danish Girl.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so I think she's going to be huge. I don't think this is her time yet, but she's got an Oscar in her one day. And there's something about that whole Swedish. I don't know. She's Swedish. Swedish actors and actors, always talented for some reason, and they're always so versatile. I don't really know why. Maybe because they're very well bred and very well trained. Fuck knows. But I don't think it's her year, but it's interesting. I think it's really, really good performance, and she did get fully naked.
She did. Yeah,
it's an interesting one. Maybe that goes in her favor or not. Rachel McAdams is a weird one. I think I just can't get over True Detective season 2.
Right,
it's almost just spoiled it. She could be amazing in Spotlight for all I know. Could she get it? Is she Oscar winning? I don't know. I think it's going to go. I think it's between Rooney Mara because she's like a darling of the studios, and Winslet, just because they want to have the photos of Leo and DiCaprio, both with Oscars. Cheers!
Bringing it back like 25 years later, whatever.
I think it's going to be Winslet because I think Weinstein's going to be like, right, let's push Winslet. She's going to win it because I'm telling you to vote for her. But I think could be Rooney Mara because she's, like I said, she's hot property, man.
Yeah,
she's great, Rooney Mara. I think she's got the whole package.
Well, so you're going for Rooney Mara, are you?
Or Winslet? I don't know.
Make a pick.
Who have you picked?
No, you make a pick and I'll tell you who.
Okay, I'm gonna pick. Winslet just because of Leo, but I want Rooney Mara to win.
Okay, cool. I think, and I want Alicia Vikander to win.
You think and want? Wow.
Yeah, and I think that'll be a nod for the Danish Girl.
Okay, interesting. I wouldn't mind her winning at all, but I think it's too early for her.
It's too early. You need to.
And she looks very young. She's got some growing. She's got some maturing to do. She's fine actor. Anyway,
stop click clacking.
Is it really loud?
Yeah. Best directing. So
all about IMDb.
Go to the directors. So we've got Adam McKay for The Big Short, George Miller for Mad Max, Alejandro Gonzalez, Inarritu, however you say it, The Revenant, Lenny Abrahamson, Room, and Tom McCarthy for Spotlight. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say if Adam McKay wins it, I will bomb everyone. Going to bomb London.
Bomb your own house. Yeah, me too.
MI5 probably listening in now. Come after me. George Miller, I would fucking love it if he won.
Yeah, I know. That's my one as well.
It'd be so great. Alejandro Inarritu, I honestly don't know how to say his name. For The Revenant, I think will win. And honestly, when you see it, mate, some of the like when we were saying The Hateful Eight, and I was saying like, the panoramic shots or whatever, it looks good.
But this,
but it was like it didn't look great. Like they were pretty good. But if you see the shots that he comes up with The Revenant, that's what I'm talking about. Those are like amazing, like and also legit. Yeah, exactly, like huge mountains, like proper fucking amazing landscapes, and it's just nature. It's like that is incredible.
It's shot in Canada, right?
No, it was.
I think so. I think I got a feeling it is.
Maybe it was. I mean, like, because I've actually been to British Columbia, and it is very like pure nature. I thought it was in. I think he did some bits in. I want to say Argentina, and maybe it was Canada.
I thought it was, man. I thought it was all British Columbia, Canada, all that stuff. Because I mean, the whole thing about it is there's not one studio light in the entire film, right? Apparently,
yeah, it's all natural lighting, the whole thing.
So it's all like the big man upstairs, Mr. God, who's kind of gifted the world with all these crazy landscapes. So
yeah, man. But it's like
get an Oscar.
It's crazy, like all of it. It's just amazing. Lenny Abrahamson from Room. It's good directing. Like he definitely got some great performances out. There's some good shots, but there's nothing like I don't know. Like, is it amazing directing in terms of angles and any inspiring kind of shots? I know that's kind of going to cinematography area, but I felt like it was more the actors and stuff. But maybe directing that kid was like key. I don't know. So I don't think he'll get it, but
what's he done? Frank. He did Frank with Fassbender. I never even saw that. That just feel that whole
man,
film just felt like a weird drug trip.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he can get it. First time nomination. Amazing for him to even be in this group of directors. So fucking hats off to him. I think, yeah, Alejandro Iñárritu is probably the favorite. Adam McKay, I mean, to go from doing like fucking Step Brothers and Anchorman and stuff to nominated for an Oscar is impressive as a joke. It's more of a joke. And this, especially the way, I mean, we already reviewed this at length last week and we both thought it was really disappointing, well as just offensive to the audience almost by doing these stupid little cutaways to celebrities explaining the ideas and plots of the film. I just didn't like it at all. So I'm annoyed that he's in there. I don't think he deserves it. I haven't seen Spotlight or Room, so it's hard to say. Tom McCarthy, possibly. It depends, again, what attention Spotlight's going to get in the next few weeks. But I would love to see George Miller get it. That would be amazing. It'd be so cool for 30 years to come back after 30 years and win an Oscar for that would be incredible. So that would be really cool. But he's got an Oscar, He's already won an Oscar, hasn't he?
For what?
For for Happy Feet.
Oh shit!
It's weird, isn't it? Yeah, because best I completely forgot he did it, but best animated, like however many years that was ago, like 7-8 years ago. So best animated feature he won. So he already has an Oscar, which might actually go against him. But I would love to see him win it. But I think Iñárritu is going to do the double 2 years.
Yeah, so do I. And again, I agree. Like, I reckon if I saw George Miller get done for best director, I'd be like, yes, fucking.
But man, it's not like not a very competitive category, is it? I mean, this is the category you usually have like P.T. Anderson,
Ridley Scott's, and exactly.
Spielberg. I mean, like, it's no Spielberg for Bridge of Spies. I know it's just another classic Spielberg film, but I would happily have Spielberg in there over Adam McKay.
Yeah.
So yes, and again, it's a weird one. These are not big hitters like you'd expect. Best directors usually fucking big boys, the big one. But it doesn't look like Iñárritu's got much competition. Sadly,
we'll pick it up. Okay, best film editing. Let's go. I know we're going into strange ones here.
How deep are we going to go? By the way,
let's go deep. Let's just smash it up. We can smash these out. We can smash these out quick. The Big Short. I'm not going to go over the names, even though everyone will be like, "Oh, you have to say the names." Like, he's going to fucking recognize any editor names. No one. Yeah. The Big Short, Mad Max, Revenant, Spotlight, Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Best film editing. What do you think?
This is classed as one of the big four or big five, though.
Yeah, and I reckon that's why Mad Max will pick it up
on the edge, because you wanted to get something.
Well, because it's edited in such a way that it's just got that. I mean, as everyone says, like, it's that pace, constant pace, and the editing.
It's amazing.
It's quite key to that.
Oh, I think it deserves it. Even the fucking trailer. Remember the first trailer came out. Yeah. The editing of that alone was enough. And then that carried on straight all the way through every minute of that film. Big Short editing, please. If there should be a film for award for worst editing, or most shortcuts and crappy editing, should be Big Short. Star Wars, man. Star Wars. Imagine if that got one. But it's hard to give a massive blockbuster like that best editing.
And also, the editing was okay.
Yeah, the editing. I mean, there's a couple of cool star wipes that they used. So I'm pretty happy. Transition stuff. But again, it was just classic Star Wars editing. It was great. It was nostalgic. It was clean. Very well timed. A lot of that editing, just as the first couple of Star Wars were as well.
But I still think it was too long. So that would.
I don't. I think the last scene was about 30 seconds too long. Yeah, but the very last shot. Yeah, I don't think it can go to Star Wars as much as I loved it. Revenant, what's the editing like on that? Is there a lot of editing?
I mean, it's a classic, like,
I thought it would be
very long takes, and it's good. It's really good, but it could get it, by all means. But I think it's Mad Max.
I think for me, it's Mad Max all the way.
Margaret Sixel, well done. Okay, best foreign language film.
We're already awarding you the Oscar.
Yeah, reading you out.
You don't know, I bet you got it.
Did you see the Miss Universe thing? I know it's like
Steve thingy.
Steve Jobs.
Steve Harvey? No, what's his name?
What, the
Yeah,
black guy? Don't know.
Steve Harvey, right?
And he
Yeah,
read out the wrong thing. That's great. Okay, you've seen it, so it's funny. If anyone
yeah,
else has seen it,
when he messed it up.
yeah, it's good. Okay, best foreign language film. I haven't seen any of these, but I've heard of a couple. So you tell me. So, Embrace of the Serpent,
As if I've seen it.
Mustang, Son of Saul, Thebe, A War. Now, I know A War is literally about like the Middle East war. But I've
Yeah.
heard loads of good things about Son of Saul, and so I'm just going to throw something out there and say Son of Saul's going to get it.
I haven't seen it. This is like the time where their nominations are released, and you're kind of scrambling around and trying to watch the foreign language films to sound like an actual film fan. But yeah, it's nice to have like seen one. So that
Yeah,
you can be
usually
like,
I've seen one or two and been
yeah.
like,
So
yeah,
usually I've
okay.
seen one, like Bullhead or whatever it was. You know what, like that you would have seen a few months before, and be like, oh yeah, that one, I've seen that one. Yeah, me too. And then you've got something to cling on to. But yeah, I've seen none of these, and I have come nowhere near to seeing any of these. So I'm gonna go for Thebe because it's a nice word to say.
Thebe it is.
I don't know what it is.
Well,
The
that's
Bedouin
good.
tribe in a remote part of the Ottoman Empire. Oh man, why did I go for that one?
No, you've done it there. You set up for that.
Yeah, it's never gonna win.
We have to move on. Best original score: Bridge of Spies, Carol, Hateful Eight, Sicario, Star Wars: Force Awakens. I mean, out of those, it's going to be. I mean, I reckon it will either be between Star Wars and Hateful Eight, and I think Hateful Eight will get it just because it's Ennio Morricone.
Yeah.
And also, like, Star Wars score was obviously reliant on a lot of the old score that he'd done anyway. But I felt like there wasn't any. I remember actively thinking, watching it, going where they've got, when Han and Leia are together and they use that old like classic, whatever it is, and I was like, okay. But I was like, there's no new music here. He's not done like a new kind of tune for like Finn or Ray or something like that. There's no like.
True. A little theme tune.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great that John Williams came back and did it. He's been this is his 50th nomination. 50th. That's crazy. That is cool, but I don't think it should get the Oscar. I agree. Hateful Eight, because if Ennio Morricone could do it, it's just cool enough for that to happen. Bridge of Spies, I remember really liking the score. I can't put my finger on it, but I did like it a lot. Sicario, man, come on! Like, is this the only? How many nominations it had? It hasn't had enough anyway. Whatever.
No. I mean, it was good.
Shame. I think that's been overlooked, man.
Yeah,
you do. But that could well get. I think, isn't it cinematography?
Maybe. I don't think it'll get that, but yeah. Okay, let's say Hateful Eight. Okay, best production design: Bridge of Spies, The Danish Girl, Mad Max, Martian, Revenant. I don't think Revenant should get it because it was good, but essentially it's all in nature, and for me, like, the nature was the.
Well, that's the thing. That's the joke, isn't it? It's like, who's going to get that? God, because who else is? Who's that going to go to?
I mean, Mad Max was really good and inventive and stuff. I think it will probably go to Danish Girl because of the way that the sets. It just looks beautiful. And it's very elegant and it feels very Oscar. But I think Mad Max should get it, but I think Danish Girl will probably get it.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I agree. I think it was, I think the Danish Girl, it looked really good, didn't it? Everything, it was like, what's his other film? The King's Speech, right?
Yeah.
He did. Like that, like everything just from the...
Too much like King's Speech, if you ask me, but yeah.
A little bit, yeah, it was a little bit. But yeah, I mean, the colours, it was all very visceral, very vibrant, wasn't it? The wallpaper and the floors and the ceilings and stuff, it was all very deliberate. So everything did look really nice. Nice period stuff. So yeah, can't disagree really there.
Yeah.
What we got next?
Best visual effects: Ex Machina, Ex Machina, Ex Machina, whatever. Mad Max, Martian, Revenant, Star Wars. I mean, for me, it's between Mad Max or Star Wars, and I would prefer Mad Max, but I think Star Wars is going to get it.
Yeah, let's give something to Star Wars. Why not?
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, let's say Star Wars. Mad Max effects were great. You know what? But both. Mad Max used a lot of like real stuff, what's the term again?
Real stuff. Mad
Yeah.
Max did. I mean, it did as much as Star Wars
Star Wars.
did, really.
Yeah, but I think the whole like everyone's saying, oh yeah, Star Wars used like real effects and what's the phrase on the
Yeah,
term? I can't remember how to say it. 'Cause my brain.
practical effects.
Practical effects, yeah. But then I think Star Wars obviously everything did have a layer of CGI over the top,
Man,
whereas
there was
Mad
so much
Max,
CG in. If you look at the Star Wars, there's a thing on Vimeo where they've done
yeah,
Star Wars before and after, and it's the same as Mad Max was, like but maybe even less so. Like when people like Mad Max, Mad Max was essentially just filmed in a very flat desert the whole
yeah,
time, and everything was kind of put in afterwards. But Star Wars, like everything, like nothing, it's the same basically. Like it was all green screen stuff as much as it was
yeah,
like
it
real
sounds a
sets.
lot.
It wasn't really at
I
all.
think it will go to Star Wars, but yeah, the effects of Mad Max were great, but a lot of it was practical. A lot of it was there. They made the flame shooting guitar and stuff. So in terms of like visual effects, is what is going to be more what they did afterwards in post production rather than practically on the set, right?
So yeah, and I think
Yeah, so
it's got to be Star Wars, isn't it?
Okay.
Okay, best adapted screenplay: The Big Short,
Hmm.
Brooklyn,
Hmm.
Carol, The Martian, Room. Looking at that, I haven't read
You
any of the
said you read
books.
Room.
I've read Room.
Yeah.
Nick Hornby for Brooklyn, interesting. I am gonna throw that out and just say Brooklyn. I have absolutely no
I'm
idea why.
I'm gonna go. Oh God, do I? Big Short, really? I think The Big Short will get something though,
Go on then.
because it's been nominated for quite a lot, and I think some people would have fallen for this trickery of it. So I would say Big Short, even though I don't think it deserves it, but I've got a feeling it might get it to get something.
Okay.
But what deserves it, I don't know because I haven't read the fucking the original screenplays of what they're adapted from. So who's to say? I didn't like the screenplay, but I got a bad feeling it might get it.
Okay, interesting. Best original screenplay:
Yeah.
Bridge of Spies. I didn't know Ethan Coen and Joel Coen did the original screenplay with Matt Harmon.
Oh, really?
Apparently,
Okay.
yeah, apparently
I
that's
don't
what
know
it says
that
here.
either.
Ex Machina, Alex Garland, Inside Out, Spotlight, Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah.
Yeah, best original screenplay. I think give it to Bridge of Spies.
It'd be nice to see Alex Garland get something. It'd be pretty cool to see. He's still relatively young. He's British, isn't he? Yeah, Londoner, get that. I don't think he will though. I think Bridge of Spies. I don't know, man. A lot of people are buzzing that Inside Out has got nominated for something other than just best animated feature. Straight Outta Compton it was a good screenplay. I thought it was a really good film, but it's kind of retelling what happened. I don't know, man. This could be another one because we haven't seen it. Spotlight. This is just the kind of thing that Spotlight could steal, because it's the story. It's the the how daring the story is why it's getting some press. I'm going for between Spotlight or Inside Out, but I think it could be Inside Out. I think it could be like Pixar stepping out of the animated category. It wasn't a wicked screenplay. It was really original ideas in there. So I'm gonna go Inside Out or Spotlight, but let's go for Inside Out. I think there's a lot of Pixar fans in there.
Interesting. Best animated feature film: Anomalisa, Boy in the World, Inside Out, Shaun the Sheep, When Marnie Was There. Now, I really want to see Anomalisa, and I just think it's going to win it and everything because it's Charlie Kaufman and it's supposed to be great. And
is that one? Okay,
yeah, but I think Inside Out will probably get it, but I really hope Anomalisa gets it.
Yeah, now I recognise what it is. It's really weird, isn't it? It's like stop motion or something. It was clay, right? Is it? Anomalisa?
Yeah, I believe it's clay, or at least a clay effect if it's not actually clay.
And that's Charlie Kaufman. That is cool. But I think Inside Out will get this for sure.
Yeah, always does, doesn't it?
It's almost definitely going to get it. It's just whether or not it gets another one in screenplay.
So let's move on to what is usually my favourite one because I'm a bit obsessed with cinematography these days. Best cinematography: Carol, The Hateful
Mm-hmm.
Eight,
Mm-hmm.
Mad Max,
Mm-hmm.
The Revenant, and
Ah,
Sicario.
yes.
I think out of all that, it should be, and it probably will be, The Revenant.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, it's just crazy beautiful. But the only thing I'm like with it is that it's all about, as you said, and as it goes, like it's natural lighting.
Yeah.
So, but the framing and how it's all done is, I mean, so people might be like, oh, but he's not even lighting it. It's just whatever. People might get funny about, but I mean, Hateful Eight again. It's best cinematography. No,
No,
people might be like, oh, it's just because it's filmed on 70mm. That's all.
yeah,
It's not
it did look
crazy.
nice. Some of those shots look really nice, but it was mostly in one room.
Yeah.
Hard to give it for that. Um,
But yeah,
okay,
Sicario
right.
was great. Sicario, some really
Yeah,
great shots.
well, I think it will be Sicario because I'm not sure if it's going to win anything else, and it's Roger Deakins,
Yeah,
who
he's famous.
been nominated forever and he's never won an Oscar.
Oh, he never won. Shit.
No, that's the
Okay.
thing. He's been nominated for everything, like Skyfall, what else? The Reader and True Grit and all these things. And he got nominated last year, right, for thingy Unbroken.
Okay.
So he's been nominated. Okay, let me look at this properly. One, two. He's been nominated for best cinematography for the last 4 years in a row and not won it. So they're going to give it to him. Simple as that. And yeah, it hasn't won for anything else. I don't think Scenario will win for anything else. So I think it's going to go to that. But yeah, I think it could go to Revenant though.
I
Because
mean,
it
he won it.
is.
I think he won it last
Yeah, didn't
year
he
for
win it?
Birdman.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, it's the same. It's what's his face? Like Lubezki.
Besky, yeah, and he
Yeah.
got. I mean, that's Gravity. Remember as well. So he's like won it. I don't know if he won it for Gravity. I can't remember what's he won it for. Let's have a look. He's won 2 Oscars.
I think he's won it the last 2 years. I
Yeah,
think
he did.
he's
Yeah, 2014,
he,
2015. Oh my
yeah.
god, he
So
can't win it again, can
that's
he?
it. He could get the trilogy. That's who I was thinking of earlier.
Yeah, man,
He
he's like,
he could. He's amazing. He's amazing.
he's amazing.
Um, it's
I
a
mean,
two-horse race, surely,
yeah,
between those two. But I think because he's already won two, come on, man, give it to Roger Deakins. So yeah, it's going to be one of them two.
fair enough. I think, yeah, just for my sake, I think he's going to win it again. I think it's going to be 3 times.
Shit.
So, best costume design: Carol, Sandy Powell, Cinderella, Sandy Powell. Okay,
Cinderella.
I could be nominated twice, but okay, I suppose you can. Danish Girl, Paco, Delgado, Mad Max, Jenny Beavan, Revenant, Jacqueline West. I think it will be Carol.
Right, really? Really?
Yeah,
Because I
just
haven't seen it.
because
Oh.
they
Is it? It's
like,
period, right?
yeah, and Kate Blanchett looks all like amazing, like all these great costumes and dresses, and it's all of that time and era. Cinderella, I never saw. I've got it actually because Disney stuff. I've not actually seen it.
Right.
Danish Girl, yeah, really good stuff.
It was
But
good. It was.
um, but
Hmm.
design, I don't know. Mad Max, I'd love it if it did again, but
Yeah,
it's
that
just
would be amazing. I mean, think of like Immortal Joe, his
yeah,
outfit, and Max. Okay, not Max's outfits, has been worn the same thing for the past like 30 years. Um, oh, actually, you know what? Costumes, yeah, it's pretty much just Immortal Joe. He's got the best costume. The rest, not so much really. They're kind of just wearing rags.
yeah. Well, that's it. Revenant wearing rags, like
Yeah, is what else is there? Is it all raggy? Civil
yeah,
War rags, basically.
Civil War rags, basically.
I
I mean,
think
it's
it's gonna.
good and they look lived in and everything, but come
It's
on,
not that hard to make stuff look dirty. I think it's going to go to Danish Girl. Well, if you say Carol,
Danish Girl,
Cinderella, could it be
yeah,
Cinderella? But I mean, there have been a lot of like big fantasy, dressy, costume design things in the past that haven't won. But Danish Girl was great, man. The costumes were really nice as well. I think we'll go Danish Girl because this will be the nod to the whole transgender thing. I
yeah,
don't think it's going to win for much more, but this is enough to say that this pioneering young man who then decided to become a woman, and I think the fact that they designed costumes to fit Eddie Redmayne as both a man and a woman is enough to get this award, I reckon.
yeah.
And you
Fair
can
enough.
you can get a big speech out of that shit as well. So Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Well, that's that. I'm not going to go into best documentary, feature, or short. Unless
Nah,
you
I've
want
only
to.
seen Amy. I thought,
Exactly. I started watching Cartel Land and then realized it was all in Spanish, and I don't speak Spanish that well.
it would be
But,
interesting though if Amy got it. That
yeah,
would be very interesting, in fact.
best makeup and hairstyling. I mean, there's only three: it's Mad Max, 100-Year-Old Man Who Climbed Out the Window and Disappeared, which I haven't actually seen, and The Revenant. I mean, Revenant makeup is pretty good.
Is it? Mad Max is
Yeah.
good though. There's a lot of dust. Dust must be pretty hard to deal with.
Yeah, but man, when you see like all the scars and like the chunks of flesh missing in
Oh
his hands and
shit!
shit with DiCaprio, I'm literally looking at it going, I don't even know how they did that.
All right.
So I
Okay.
reckon
Yeah.
Revenant. Best original song, I'm not even going to go into because I think it's an absolute fucking waste of time.
I know. Do you think it's gonna be Sam Smith? Spectre.
Probably, like, but it's
He got
like,
the Golden Globe, didn't he?
here's the best song.
It's fucking
just
lame. It's like
so
a music
stupid.
label pays for that category.
I know.
They probably do.
It's just so weird.
Yeah.
Best animated short, I wouldn't have seen any of them. Best live
Yeah,
action short, I wouldn't have seen any of them. Best sound editing,
Go Sanjay Super Team because that's a cool name. Best animated short film, Sanjay Super Team.
Yeah. So that's it. Let's just say let's call it there.
So we'll go back over this in what is it? 1 month, 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, isn't it?
I think it's March, isn't it? It's usually on.
No, it's February, isn't it? I think it might be the end of February then, which is about 5 or 6 weeks
Yeah,
away.
I know it's always usually like just before my birthday.
Birthday, that's
Sunday, February the 28th. There you go.
Yeah, they go. Yeah, usually it is the last weekend of February, isn't it? It used to be March back in the day. But yeah, so there you go. That's ages away, man. In like 6 weeks, we can look back and go, okay, we've got them all right or wrong. But there is one black guy who's going to get a lot of attention. That's Chris Rock. So they've got Chris Rock back to do, haven't they?
Oh, yeah.
So that makes up for everything. All the white.
Exactly. He's just going to go into and rip it apart for the fact that he's the only black guy on stage that evening.
Well, do you think that there are any genuine like causes for whatever, like not racism at all, but do you think people complaining have got a legitimate reason to? The fact that it is,
I don't know, man. Like sometimes
it's so deeply, embedded in Hollywood anyway. But
I don't think it's even like a race thing. I just think it's that the Oscars are just like that and they're boring, and it's been like that for so long.
Yeah, it's just old white man's club. I
mean,
there are no like people saying Idris Elba in a film that no one's seen. Like I said, Michael B. Jordan saying for Creed. I don't think anyone's got real leg to stand on to say that there is one big standout performance by a black actor that has been ignored. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
People seem to be clutching at straws a little bit to try and think of something, but that's not their fault. It's not the actor's fault. It's not even necessarily the voters' fault. It's just that there aren't enough good roles written for black actors. Simple as that. That's the problem. It's just that, and as well as the problem is you get people who are white playing ethnic minority roles. There are loads. I can't think of any, but like Angelina Jolie didn't she? She played like a half African American role in I can't remember what film it was. A few years ago. Yeah, and there's other stuff like often quite a lot of white actors playing roles. Obviously, it's been going on since the beginning of Hollywood, hasn't it? But playing roles of minorities. So I think that's another problem, isn't it? That the roles aren't necessarily filled. Was it Changeling? No, not Changeling. Sorry, that wasn't at all.
Changeling's where the kid's missing.
Yeah, it was. What was it? A Mighty Heart. That was it.
Oh yeah.
Mighty Heart. She plays, I think, a mixed race.
Yeah, that's right. She does. Yeah, I never. Yeah.
But yeah, that kind of thing does happen quite a lot. But I think that's to blame. And yeah, there's just not enough roles written for like black actors, and also that the roles which could be filled by black actors, like a role which could be white or black, it doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? That's a problem, that they're not cast as black actors and actresses could be.
Yeah.
Because you're going to write a historic role about a white person's going to play it. But that's what was so great about Star Wars, that Finn is no line in the film or nothing in the film at all that says that he's black or white or whatever. He could be any color. He just happens to be played by a black actor, which is great. So there should be more of that. A lead role that doesn't matter what race that lead character is. It's just about the character, and
Yeah.
it's not about his background. It's just about what the character does in the film.
Let me ask you something. Like,
Yeah.
me and Tess went to see a play. It's probably about, I don't know, like 6 months ago or something, and it wasn't very good. I can't even remember what it was, but in it, there's like, it's all to do with this like family that moves to like a new town, and the kid is like in love with like philosophy, and he's a big romantic, and he sneaks out and whatever. And then one of the cast is this black guy.
Yeah.
Everyone's white, and the cast is black guy, and they're like talking, but there's no like, they never like refer to one another as whatever. And then about 2/3 of the way, they start talking about, oh, like, hey, go find your brother or whatever, go get your brother.
Yeah.
And the black guy comes in, he's like, all right, yeah, come on, let's go, whatever. And I'm like, I thought he was like a friend of the family.
It's
Like,
not explained.
yeah, it's not like actively gone, he's the brother.
Is he
And
adopted?
I turned around to Tess, I remember going, Tess, is the black guy, like, he's supposed to be his actual brother, like his real brother.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I think so. I was like, oh, okay. Like, and it wasn't me thinking, like, going like, oh, that's not right. But I was like, I shouldn't, like, it's just confused me.
Yeah.
And it's a bit weird. Now, what, I don't know, I don't really know what I'm asking here, but like, it's one of those things where I'm like, is that,
I get what you're saying.
like, should it be, should a white guy be cast because it's a white family? Or because
yes, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say yes.
Because otherwise, I step out of what I'm watching, because I don't. It clearly, like, me being thick or whatever.
I mean, I don't see there's anything wrong with that. Keeping a family, if it's a family, keeping them looking of the same race, because it's realism.
I mean, he could have been adopted, but it was never like.
Yeah, if it's implied that he could have been adopted, or even there was one line in the play that said something about he wasn't, that's not his real mother, then that's fine. But yeah, I don't see anything wrong with keeping a family of a certain culture and background looking similar.
Yeah.
But there you go. You never know. I mean, maybe that is what could happen in the future. That it doesn't matter on the character whatsoever. It doesn't matter that the color is just there. But then, like you said, that's going to take you out of it. It's like for momentarily at least, it might make you question it.
It's like, if I'm writing about people, like, here's this guy Joe, and he works in a store, and he falls in love with Chloe and whatever.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that guy could be black
anything,
black and white.
Yeah,
it all it doesn't matter. But it's like, and they're like, because people were saying that about Fantastic Four. Do you remember? It's like, I have a sister, but one's black, one's white, and it's like, yeah, but their dad is black, and at some point. They said something about being like adopted or something like that.
They're not biological.
Yeah, so it's kind of kept it within contextually what I'm watching. But with this, it was just like, I just thought I was being stupid. I was like, am I just not hip enough? Is this what happened? like,
but you're not even supposed to see the color of someone's skin, as in you're not even supposed to now.
Yeah,
you see through it. No, I mean that's getting kind of too politically correct. I think that if you can't even notice it. But I think exactly. If you're saying you're going to write a role for some guy who falls in love with some girl, then those are the roles that should be filled more with black actors, or not just black actors, but minority black actors, Asian actors, for fuck's sake. Would you ever seen a Chinese dude in a Western film as a main role? Asian, same as TV as well. I grew up half Chinese family. You don't see Asian families represented much on TV or film, really, especially in the West, especially in the UK. And if they are in America, they're usually like a cliched, stereotypical Korean family or something. So yeah, it goes across not just black and white, but yeah, it's an odd one, isn't it? But it's just the roles aren't written, the old roles aren't really there. So yeah, it's whether or not they'll address it now because of all the backlash it's been getting, who knows? But I don't think so. It's a deep-rooted thing, man. In Hollywood, I don't think it's something that they forgot to give a black actor a nomination this year. It's something that goes way beyond that. So it's going to take a long time to fix anyway. So it's just part of it. It's just part of the deal, isn't it?
Yeah.
There you go.
It's interesting.
All right.
So should we go into what we've watched?
Yeah. Let's. So I've only seen this week because I've been traveling and stuff. the Dutch Girl, no, the Danish Girl, and the Gallows crappy horror film that you asked me to watch because you've seen it. It was crap.
Sorry.
So it's only those two. So you go ahead. You can either talk about the stuff you've seen yourself first, then we go into that, or whatever you want.
Okay, well, I'll go
way.
into Room really
Yes.
quickly. I know you'll probably watch it, so I won't go into that much. But yeah, as I said, I read the book, so I kind of knew what was happening. But if it was one of those things where the film was much better, I thought, than the book. And the one thing that did annoy me throughout the film is they've got these little monologues that the boy is saying that's like narrated over shots of whatever. And I think they're lifted from the book directly. I might be wrong, but they really annoyed me. And I was like,
oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of got it, and it's quite sweet. And the whole point of it is you're supposed to be seeing everything through the boy's perspective. That's how it's written in the book, is that you're seeing it from the boy's perspective, which kind of makes all this horrible things strangely innocent. And
what the premise, very quickly, for those who don't know.
So it's this kid, basically, like this girl's been kidnapped when she was 17, and she's been locked in this room, like Fritzl style, for the last 7 years, and she had a kid. And this kid's like 5 or something now. And all he's ever known is this one room. He's never been outside, like anything. It's like literally a room that's like fucking 10 feet by 10 feet. It's tiny. And that's where they've been the whole time. And I don't want to ruin anything. I don't know what's in the trailer. This is why, like, I don't want to give away too much, but
that's all right.
But it's really good. And so what's gone?
Sorry, go on. Are you going?
So you really feel it's a character-driven piece, like Brie Larson and the kid, but because it's from the kid's perspective, he holds the film together. And never, what was really weird is that never at one point did I not believe. Like, I literally was like watching this kid thinking this was happening, kind of thing.
Wow. Yeah.
I never thought. Never at one point did I think I'm watching a child actor. I thought he was the child. Like,
that's because of his performance, not because of the script. Because there have been a few people who said that kid deserves a nomination.
Yeah,
just he's so young, but you know, stranger things have happened in the past. Like,
I mean, like
the Southern Wild, or whatever it was, that little girl got nominated, didn't she?
Yeah.
So do you agree? Do you think that he could have?
If he got it and he won it, I'd be like, great. Like, he did definitely deserve it. But at the same time, it's like,
really?
I don't know. I don't know where it's coming from. Like, is he like? It depends, because it's like, is he a master of his craft? Which
does he actually believe? They actually wanted him for years to make this film.
Yeah, or was it the director? Like, was it the director making a game of it, or somehow bringing out that performance within him, or was it him being an actor? But either way, man, like, fuck me. Like, it really, even though I knew what was going to happen and knew all the beats, like, it really packed a real emotional punch, and it was through that kid. Not to take away from Brie Larson, like, she was great, but she was always like, the whole thing is that she has to like adapt herself to the kid, because of the situation. But man, it was like, even though I knew it, really like hit me hard, and the kid was like the key to it.
I really want to see it. Would he have been classified as a lead or a supporting? He's the lead, right?
He would be
supporting.
I suppose so. He'd be the lead.
Okay, because and you really believe like all the kind of naivety that he's grown up with, because he basically doesn't know anything, right? So he doesn't really know like what a bus is or what.
Exactly, all that stuff. I mean, man, honestly, if you said that they found this kid actually trapped in a room and they just put a camera with him and this is what it was, I would probably believe you. Like, it was that good. I mean, maybe I'm hyping up too much now, but
no. I mean, it's doing really well, and a lot of people said the same thing. So I'm really looking forward to it. I just wasn't sure if it's like this small, intimate, claustrophobic story that just explodes out into the real world when they finally get out, and they're seeing everything, or especially he's seeing everything for the first time.
Okay, but that's what I wasn't sure if I should give away or not.
That's pretty well known as the premise, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay, because about halfway through, it's not even halfway through, it's about a third of the way through.
Yeah, that's the thing, the big thing.
Yeah, and it's all like adapting to it. But even though I knew like what was gonna happen and all this stuff, like my tongue was really like back of my throat or whatever. I was really like, fuck.
Wow.
And the way it was shot, the way it's just put together, just really, really well. And it really was like just a character piece.
Great, man.
Just some great. It's really good. Really liked it.
That's cool. It's nice to see like original films like, well, I guess it's still based on novel, but films like that getting attention at the Oscars though. A small story.
Yeah.
What sounds like a small story with two really good
Yeah,
performances.
exactly. That's what it is. It's just them two. Basically, the cameras is just with them two pretty much the whole time.
Cool.
So that was really good. The other one I saw was Strangerland, which is Nicole Kidman, Joseph Fiennes, and Hugo Weaving. And fuck me, that was really good as well.
Really?
Basically, Nicole Kidman and Joseph Fiennes are a married couple, and their kids go missing. And it's about them trying to find them. But what's really weird is it's very different from the classic kids are missing like film, because it's not about the kids whatsoever. It's mainly about Nicole Kidman and Joseph Fiennes, and it literally throws up like a ton of questions, like loads and loads of questions, like the way they talk to each other, things that are insinuated, things, and it just leaves it completely unanswered. Basically, at the end.
Cool.
But you just like, it's not as if you're like, oh, that's annoying. You feel satisfied because you realize that it was again same kind of things room, but like it was about the characters and more than an actual narrative and what was happening and all this stuff. It was like, again, it was like a real character piece. And I haven't seen Joseph Fiennes do anything for fucking God knows how long, but he does this really well. Yeah, Hugo Weaving is pretty cool, but
it hasn't, just like it had a huge release, has it? It's been quite under the radar.
Yeah, but it's really worth it. I mean, Nicole Kidman, you see her fully naked as well, if anyone's bothered by that.
Oh, really? She hasn't done that since I had my shot, has she?
Probably not, no. But she puts it all on the line, like, and some of the shots as well. Like, if that got a nomination for Best Cinematography, I wouldn't be surprised.
Really?
It just feels hot, sweaty, dusty, horrible. Nice. But the way it plays with, like, shadows and light and dark, and, like, sunsets and all this stuff is just amazing. It's like really, like, ethereal.
Is it Australian?
Australian
set. It's Australian director as well, Kim Farron.
Yeah, and that's a woman.
Is she Australian? I'm not sure, but does it feel like an Australian production?
Yeah, I mean, it's fully like outback Australia.
Right, okay.
But
that's good.
Man, it's really good. Like, I was like, whatever, this film, meh. And then when it actually finished, like, I know there's gonna be loads of people going, oh fucking hell, when it finishes. But when it finished, I was like, yeah, that's strong. Yeah.
Oh,
that's really
cool,
like fucked my head a little bit, but not in like a disturbed way. Just like, shit, I'm still asking questions. I'm gonna be thinking about it for a while.
Nice. Goes on the list then.
Yeah, just see that if you can.
Watch that at the Gallows.
Yeah, I saw the Revenant, but again, we can go into that next week. But
when I've seen it, let's dive deep into that.
Dive deeper into it. But if anyone is listening, if they're wanting about seeing it, you should go see it. It's great.
Yeah.
So what should we get into? So, I saw The Staircase after your recommendation.
I still haven't got very far in it. I've seen about 3 episodes in.
Well, when you said last week when they're like talking about, hey, you suck this guy's dick and whatever and all this stuff.
Yeah.
They were talking to the brother. They weren't talking to him.
Oh, weren't they? Was that?
Yeah. They were talking to the brother. Yeah. That's why I was watching it going, I think this is the bit that Si means. Yeah. And you're like going, they're like checking him out with it. Well, there is like this weird, like they laugh about weird things, but
he does though, doesn't he?
That bit in particular, it's like that was to his brother.
It's weird. Why was just prepping him? Just prepping his.
Yeah, they were prepping each other. It was just like a rehearsal thing.
But then, like the bit in the courtroom when the guy's like massaging him stuff, going, okay,
that was all
like lunch. But it's a weird. Does it get more interesting? Should I persevere?
Yeah, you should, man. It was because I watched all of them pretty much back to back, and then I saw there's a 2013 sequel called Staircase 2. Same case. Same case. But what was weird is when you told me about it that afternoon, I was listening to a podcast called Criminal, and one of the first ones they have is about a case involving a woman who falls down the stairs, and then they go into this thing about and I'll go into it because it didn't actually deal with it at all in the whole series and
Right.
the sequel. But there's this whole theory about an owl, and it having been done by an owl, and it went into all that. So, but they obviously
Ow!
just an owl, yeah.
Like a bird came into the house and killed her.
Well, yeah, this is it,
Not
and
killed her, but caused her to
they don't bring it up at all in the documentary
fall
or
down the
whatever.
stairs. Well,
Huh?
that's a legit. That's like a legit theory.
And for good
That she,
cause, and there's a lot of proof that supports it.
I like the scratches on her head and stuff.
Yeah, and there's actually like owl feathers in the scratches and all
Oh,
this stuff. Yeah, and all this
what? That
bollocks.
it just could have come in and she was drunk, and then she tried to fight it off, and then she
Yeah,
fell downstairs and died.
and that's
Basically.
why they're saying it's all that trauma to the head. Is because
Yeah.
she's just trying to get the owl off her, and that's why
There's,
it took
there's,
off half her fucking skull.
there's loads of blood though, wasn't there?
Yeah,
Like,
but apparently, like if an owl attacks you, and they do
yeah.
attack people, apparently,
So,
like quite often, yeah, it's like being hit around the back of the head with a baseball bat. It's that much
what?
strength. Yeah.
Yeah, but then that's in a small enclosed area. Surely, I guess it doesn't make a difference.
But no,
It's
that's what
still
they're
just.
saying is that it happened to her outside, and
Oh, and
then
she
she
ran in.
tried to get up the stairs or whatever, and she just
Ah, that's
fell back down, and
crazy.
that's why she's bleeding everywhere and all this stuff.
That's gonna be so weird because if I watch the whole thing now, I'm just gonna be thinking, how,
Yeah,
how?
but that's it. That's why I wasn't sure if I say it or not because I was like, well, because it told me about the case generally, and then when you said it and I
Yeah,
started watching it and I
yeah.
heard the phone call, I was like, that sounds like the podcast I listened to this afternoon. Then when it went into it, I was like, oh fuck, it's the same fucking thing. So I know
Really.
what
But
happens
then,
already throughout the whole thing.
okay. But is it interesting in the context of him as a? They're trying
Yeah.
to prosecute
Yes.
him as a weird character.
Yeah, not as good as making a murderer or anything like that.
Yeah.
I mean, what makes it good um, is the science behind it and just him as a
Okay.
person, because
Yeah.
he's very like he's quite upbeat.
He's a strange one, isn't he?
Yeah, he's really strange, and
Okay.
but it's
And,
really good, man.
and the staircase too is about the same case, the same
Yeah, but I
incident,
can't really talk about it without giving away
but it's
how
worth.
Staircase ends.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, it's worth watching for the end then. It's not. It doesn't just go.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
it's not
all
an
this was on
anticlimax.
YouTube. I just, as you said,
Yeah,
just
the whole
streamed it on
thing. Like,
YouTube.
yeah, yeah. Okay. I'll keep going. I'll keep going with it.
Yeah, it's good. And read about it afterwards as well,
Yeah.
because it's still kind of ongoing. It's good.
All right.
Um,
Okay.
well, so Danish Girl. Should we go into that?
Yeah. Yes. Let's go into it.
You
You want to go?
you hit me
Shall
because
I go
I've been
first?
talking for ages.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go first. I'll try not to be too long-winded about it. Yeah. I saw it a few days ago. Where do we start? Where do we start? Um, I just dive into the big thing at first. I did like it. You know, when it finished, I was quite exhausted. I was like, wow, that really put me through the ringer a little bit. Um, but it did have an effect on me, and in that respect, I liked it. I enjoyed it. That it did keep me engaged the whole time. Visually, definitely. Performance-wise, definitely. Story-wise, not quite as much, but it did keep me entertained, and it made me think a lot, and it really made me try to empathize with these characters. So it did its job on me. It's definitely
Yeah.
a movie-going experience and took me through a little bit of a journey. And like I said, I was weirdly exhausted afterwards. I was like, oh shit, that was quite a lot. Quite a lot happened. Quite intense. But then afterwards, when I had a few minutes to digest it and think about it, then I thought I didn't like it quite as much. And two main reasons that stick out. One, I didn't like the pacing of it, which I was surprised I would even have as criticism. I thought it was too fast paced, and I thought I would never say that about that kind of film. But I thought they skipped over quite a lot of important scenes and moments in their marriage, and it just kind of jumped around to try and get to the big meat of it of the character uh, going towards a sex change and this big pioneering operation. But I know I'm kind of skipping around, but I thought the pace of it was a little bit too fast and disjointed that suddenly you blink and be like, oh, right, okay, that scene's over, back to this scene. I found it slightly claustrophobic that was all set in one or two rooms pretty
Mm.
much. It didn't really expand and explore out. And also, the performances were great, but in terms of the story, so this is more about, I guess, the screenplay and script. I felt that Eddie Redmayne's character as Lily was just extremely selfish, and
Yeah.
I was intrigued by the film, but in equal measures I was also frustrated, mainly because of that, because I thought the treatment of him, it's a fucking minefield, even saying him, he, her, what. But Eddie Redmayne's character, the treatment of his wife, played by Alicia Vikander, that just didn't feel realistic, and that really frustrated me because it was all his journey. Not it was all just a selfish one direction towards a goal that he wanted to achieve, and despite what effect it would have on the love of his life, his wife, who was loyal to the core, and basically didn't have a say in anything. And that was fine if that's what the character was supposed to be like, but the film didn't really address that. Um, so I felt there was an imbalance between the characters, and yeah, so that's kind of what I felt. But I forgot to sum it up as a little synopsis first. So you might as well do that before you go into.
Well, yeah, it's basically about this guy who's it's a married couple and they're both artists, and the guy Eddie Redmayne has to starts posing for his wife because she needs to do like she needs to get finished bits off like a foot in a shoe or whatever, and so he wears all these like women's clothes. Anyway, he realizes that he likes it a lot, and then he starts dressing as a woman. And then he starts going out dressed as a woman, and then he basically realizes that he wants to be a woman, and he goes through one of the first sex changes, and that's basically it. But yeah, I mean, I completely agree in that I found it very hard to relate to him because he was just selfish like constantly,
Yeah,
and there was no like the whole trying to make you sympathize with the character because it's like, oh, I'm trapped in a
yeah,
man's body and all this stuff. It's like, but your poor suffering wife that you just like, he's going off and seeing men and stuff like
I
that,
know. That was really.
and he's like blaming it, or he's going, oh, it's Lily, and they talk about it like it's another person, and
Yeah,
it's like, and she's really trying hard to kind of put up with it and all this
yeah.
stuff, like until the very end, like she's like, but it's
Literally
just his life.
until the last frame of the film.
Yeah, like that's the thing, is that with the work, their actual art, like
Yeah,
his is like amazing, and hers, everyone's like whatever. Then when
yeah,
she starts painting him,
yeah.
it's
She becomes a
like,
talent.
yeah, and she's like, and everyone's like, oh, this is amazing. Like,
Mm.
who is the model and all this
Yeah,
stuff, and it's still like he's even taking over like her work,
yeah,
um,
exactly.
and
Yeah,
then it
that
just
was
ruins her life, completely ruins her life.
yeah. That was interesting, wasn't it? Actually, you're right. He was taking over. He like at first he was her inspiration and muse, and then even the subject matter took over, which was something more important than the artist itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree that like yeah, with a lot of you saying, I felt that the film didn't commit to anything enough. I felt that like it didn't commit enough to yeah her like suffering for one thing. It didn't see anything from her point of view. There was just one scene where she was like, I think there's there's one or two big scenes where she was like really upset by everything, but she didn't really vocalize what was going through her head. She just seemed to be going along with everything, but really torn and tortured. That in one hand she's losing her husband, but in another hand he's going to be happy. Um, but it didn't really commit to her perspective enough, and
Mm.
also I didn't feel that it committed enough to um, Lily, Eddie Redmayne's character, like you said, they would sometimes blame it. Lily, and Lily did this, Lily did that. So they're having this like weird pretend make believe thing that it's okay because it was Lily doing it, that he wasn't doing it. And
Mm.
again, it didn't really explore: is this because of some sort of schizophrenia or bipolar, and or is it everything felt on a whim? Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he just whimsically wanted to turn into a woman, and there wasn't enough.
Yeah,
He
it didn't
didn't.
feel like yeah, exactly, that they really explored it, like
No,
as
they
to why.
didn't.
It was just a
And
case of like, because there was loads of shots of him like trying on the dresses and getting this like weird
yeah,
sexual
touching
kick out of
himself.
it,
Yeah.
and then it suddenly he's like, I don't want to be a woman now, and you're like, well,
Oh
hold on,
yeah.
is it really that easy? Like, if I'm going to put a dress on and I suddenly get aroused, am I just going to suddenly just want to become a woman?
Well,
Like,
yeah, exactly. I felt that the person I watched it with, they said that they felt that
what do you mean? What was it
no,
secret?
it's not. It's not. I'm just saying, like, because I was like, the transition was too fast. As in, he went from guy to I want to be a woman, like you're saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, someone I watched it would be like, oh no, I think that he was always like Lily. It felt like he was always Lily throughout since the beginning. But I did, but it kind of did, because even the very first time he posed for her, he was quite like effeminate straight away.
Yeah, I mean, there's an insinuation that he's gay, basically.
There
Like
was,
he's
yeah,
always been gay.
there was a it insinuated that he would before the film started, he had already enjoyed wearing women's clothing, right? And he
Well,
was
I
quite
didn't get
effeminate,
that.
but
I
not
mean,
yeah,
he was
but only,
effeminate.
but not much. Yeah, exactly, not much. It's not like he's been doing this for years. You know what I mean? That it still felt like this was the first couple of times he's put women's clothing on, and she was still like, "Oh right, you actually like it." So if that's the case, it just went. That's what I mean by the pace. It went so quickly from "I do kind of like wearing your lingerie, by the way" to "I want to chop off my dick," and it happened all too fast. And there wasn't much enough examination. I didn't. They had one scene where he saw like a psychiatrist, right, and then he went through a little bit of
Yeah, there's like a montage of like
yeah, exactly.
where it's like a bit jokey or something.
Yeah, it was way too. It was skimmed over, and I didn't exactly want a like Viggo Mortensen, Keira Knightley, Sigmund Freud like hour of psychoanalysis or anything, and weird spanking. But I wouldn't have minded something a little bit more of going into his head of why do you want to do this, but because it's such a huge thing, and he's such endangering his own life and the people around him, and he was so pig-headed about it that he just wanted to change his body. He didn't give a shit about the other people. There wasn't enough examination of why the hell you want to do this. Are you just unhappy with what you are, or do you genuinely feel that you were born into the wrong body? Because he says that a line in it at some point, which is quite, with much probably strikes quite a chord with like the whole transgender movement, really, that you're born in the wrong body. You were born incorrectly. You know what I mean? That you were always a girl. I was never a man. I was always Lily. And that was already frustrating me, because that comes up a few times, doesn't it? Where the relationships between the man and the wife is like, who do you love? Have you always loved me, or because I've always been Lily? But have you always been Lily? Because I don't think you have. So
Mm.
that's what I found really frustrating. And there were a couple of scenes later on in the film I won't give away, where he starts whimsically thinking about what he'll do in the future as a woman, this completely disregarding his wife, who's been with him for however many years.
Yeah.
Just like, oh yeah, you were fun, by the way. Now you're just a friend because I've turned into a woman.
Yeah, that bit was horrible when they're like, he's like, "Oh, I've bought you this and all this stuff," and she's like, "Yeah, great. I guess this is my life now."
Yeah, exactly. But there's not. Yeah, it was a real like. I guess this is my life now. But there wasn't
Yeah.
enough of that. On her part, and
When
also,
he's like, and then, well, you shouldn't have helped me. You shouldn't support me do this then if you didn't want this to happen.
yeah, basically you're a fucking bastard.
Such a
And
dick.
there are some amazing scenes, like when he's like, naked as well. He gets pretty much completely naked and puts his willy
Mm.
between his legs and all this stuff.
Oh
There
God,
was
yeah, I
some,
forgot about that bit.
but there were
Yeah.
some really emotive, like really powerful scenes like that, which were handled really, really well, really delicately. There was so much soft focus, wasn't there? There were
Mm.
points where like there was only like 5% of the screen in focus, the rest was just all out of focus. There's a lot of playing around with cameras and a lot of nice scenery and everything.
Yeah,
But
there was a lot of nice shots and like a lot of nice setups, but it felt like a Vanity Fair article or something,
it
like photo
did.
shoot,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
there wasn't a
It
lot of
felt,
like content. It felt
yeah,
made it a
yeah,
bit
I
Star
totally
Wars
agree.
substance.
Yeah, exactly. It really did feel like, especially towards the end, style over substance, because things were just skimmed over. Really big things were skimmed over so quickly, and the fact that he was like, he's basically saying my only chance of being happy and surviving, not really surviving, but like continuing as I want my life to be, is to have a sex exchange. But that's not the only choice. Do you know what I mean? It's so
Mm.
dramatic. Like you're not a cancer patient whose only choice is to go through radiotherapy. Otherwise, you'll die. Like you do have a choice. You do not have to go through this massive, massive risk to try and turn into a woman. You could remain as you are and live your life as a woman, dressed as a woman and act like a woman. So it just felt like too dramatic, you know what I mean? And those big questions weren't really investigated. They were just skimmed over, like, oh, okay, he's doing this. Oh, right, he's going to do this. Okay, he doesn't care about anyone else. And my last criticism was the other, like, there's basically four characters in the whole film, right?
Mm.
Pretty much. One of which was Ben Whishaw.
Again, he's in
He's in
everything.
everything, isn't he? And he does this job quite well, I guess. He just turns up. He's always on the sidelines. But the other one, I don't know if he's a Swedish guy or what, but the other characters seemed really pointless. Um, and I still can't figure out why he was even in it. is what, as a temptation for the woman, or as something, as a reminder from the past of
the mate.
the mate guy who kind of is brought in as support, but also a bit of a tease, and also it causes this whole sexual tension and triangle between the three of them. But it doesn't really work. Again, they didn't commit to that character enough. They didn't give them enough. So again, everything was like a little bit, but not far enough in terms of commitment for everything. So the whole film, I felt a little bit frustrated, as interesting and intriguing as it was.
Yeah.
And the end, I was just like, "Are you kidding me?" It just happened. It was quite abrupt. It just finished quite abruptly, and I was just like, "Oh, all right, it's ended. Right, okay. I've got a lot to think about now. This is all happened too quickly." Yeah, there you go. What do you think about the performances? Those two, the two main ones?
I mean, I did like the performances, but again, it was like Eddie Redmayne was really good, but still, I was just like, when the film finished, I was like, thank God. Like that was really like it just felt like it was going, please give me an Oscar, please.
It was. I think it's interesting. If you have seen A Theory of Everything before, I think that might change your mind slightly on his performance. I think because as Steve Steve Jobs, as Stephen Hawkins is an amazing performance, but I haven't really seen Eddie Redmayne in much before, so it's like, is this guy?
I remember it was the fucking Wet Blanket in Birdsong, who just fucked
he is.
for me.
Well, that's the thing. Is he going to be a bit of a blanket actor? Is he going to? Can he? What the hell is he going to do next? How do you follow these two films? Like, is he always going to play these really like mentally or physically handicapped or
did you see Jupiter Ascending?
Oh yeah, he played that.
He did the weird voice.
Yeah, exactly, and it was that again. That was very androgynous, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And very effeminate. And like, will he do these roles? Like, the reason why I say it is when you watch A Theory of Everything, you see a little bit of Stephen Hawkins in Lily, a little bit of that, like going beyond that like really like reaching performance. If that makes sense. That he's just himself out there physically as well, because it's such a physical role as Stephen Hawkins, and then again it's such a physical role as Lily, when he's kind of caressing himself and he's feeling confusion in whether he's sexually attracted to whatever, or if it's just something that's in him that makes him female, or does he just want to act like a woman or dress like a woman or feel like a woman. And it's all like very physical, do you know what I mean? And it's all very like, it's a strenuous reaching performance, which is good. But I just think, what the fuck, how can is he going to be able to do a toned down performance, or is it just this his thing? Is this his thing? He just does these very, very difficult, very like specific roles. So that's why I thought that she was better, because she had to just react to everything he was doing. And she had to downplay it. And she didn't have any big explosive scenes, but I thought she did everything really subtly. You could really feel her pain, as much as they underwrote the characters slightly. I thought you could really feel what she was going through. And he was like, sometimes it's easier to do a big, I assume, easier to do a big screamy performance than a very subtle, difficult one. So that's why I felt she was actually better than him. He did have one scene where the camera really like stuck on him for ages and he was crying, which was quite moving. But I thought she, as much as his role on paper seems like, fucking hell, it's difficult. How can he do this? Act like a man and then a woman, and all these things in between. But for her, for me, I thought she was actually better.
Yeah, she was. She was good. Yeah, sure. I mean, it was. Yeah, I mean, it's how the King's Speech. It's got that certain look and panache to it.
It looks great.
I mean, it still follows that same thing, and some of the shots are really nice, but I was just like, I just every now and then go, nice shot, that's a nice shot, and then, but for the most part, I was like, this isn't, entertaining. Also, like, have you seen what the actual guy looks like in real life?
I mean, don't know if I want to.
Yeah, he's like really ugly.
Is it? Well, there's photos and stuff of what he looks like.
I don't know, but it's like that. It's you can you can see photos if you Google it. But it's not like he's not a very convincing woman, put it that way.
Really? So is it Eddie Redmayne? Is he beautiful or is he ugly? I don't know.
Are you? I don't know. Is this weird? What you asking me
No,
here?
no, I mean, that's probably
It's a
why he's.
test.
Yeah, there's only one right answer. And the future of this podcast.
I mean, I never looked at him dressed as a girl and thought that's a woman.
Yeah,
I
I
think I
mean,
was just like, that is clearly a man in
that's
drag.
it. Like,
He
is
didn't
he?
even change his voice. It was
No,
like
he did.
super
That's what I was thinking. But is he like cast because of the way he looks? He can. That's what I don't get. Does he
Well,
make it
he's
beautiful?
pretty.
Is he though? Because he's also quite weird looking, isn't he?
Yeah,
Redmayne.
but I
He's
think that's
just
part of it.
yeah. I guess that's the whole thing. He's a character actor. That's what he does. But he yeah. That's what I was trying to figure out because when he was dressed as a woman, is everyone just seeing him dressed as a woman and going like, oh yeah, I can see. Oh, I've forgotten his name, Ilya or something.
Huh?
Is that is
Lily.
it, no? Lily was his girl persona,
Oh,
wasn't
his
it?
real name.
Ilya,
Yeah,
or
God
Ilya,
knows.
or
It's so
something.
weird. Yeah.
Danish name, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Does he think everyone sees him as a beautiful woman? But what they actually is actually just see him dressed as a woman, but they accept it.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I mean? Because that Ben Wishaw's character, I mean, not giving anything away, but they don't really care if he's him dressed as a woman, but he thinks he is being a natural woman.
Yeah.
But they're kind of like, oh yeah, you're dressed like a woman again. That's cool.
Well, there's that one point where he goes to his wife, "Oh, it's okay. He's gay, so there's nothing between us."
Yeah, exactly.
And
And
she's like, "Okay, oh god,
yeah,
yeah, it's poor fucking woman."
yeah. I mean, that's the thing. That's exactly what I mean about the film. Like, you come out and it's you chew it over a lot afterwards. It's a thinker, but it's not necessarily the best film. It's quite imbalanced, and yeah, as we've been saying. But it's definitely fun, man. You know, it made me think a lot about stuff.
Yeah,
But yeah, yes, yeah. It's a good
yeah. I
all
mean,
round
there's
film
a lot of
worth
people
watching, isn't it?
like it. Yeah, so fuck it. They'll, it's made for a certain audience, and it's probably not us, but still.
Yeah, I don't know though. It's got us talking. And you know, it's just one of those things. Is it coincidence or what? It's such a popular point of discussion at the moment, and it's so like you know um, such yeah the whole transgender thing. It's
It's on trend.
yeah, you know, it's going to cause a lot of discussion, isn't it? Basically, and it's just one of those things. It's that is whether it's a coincidence or not. That yeah, exactly, it's a big trend at the moment, or you know, a big political discussion point or whatever. But
Yeah. But I still like
it's
Trans America better. That's
yeah.
for me. Okay, let's move on. So the Gallows.
Oh man, yeah. Okay, well, I can do this one quickly. I thought it
Go
was
on then.
absolutely shit. Yeah, so it's about. Let me sum it up real quick. It's about what the hell is it about? A bunch of
High school.
high school drama students. They watch a video from however many years ago, and in the play, they're watching a video of this kid actually gets actually hung and
An
dies
accident. Yeah.
during the play, and it's like, is it an accident or is it not an accident? And then it's all about these kids for some reason running around with camcorders, recording everything. And then trying to figure out what actually happened back then in that play, whether or not the kid it was an accident that he got hung during the performance, or if there was actually something more spooky going on. And then, as usual, people get picked off one by one, and then it just turns into a very, very low budget, homemade, crappy horror film.
Yeah.
Basically, that's it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it was like there were bits where I was like, okay, it's gonna get interesting. I mean, it took ages to get going for a start.
Yeah.
And it was trying to do some weird like establishing characters at the beginning, which I didn't believe for 1 second.
Yeah, that's so lame. John,
Yeah, super lame.
geek.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's like, okay, like when they go, like they found like a secret door, they go into this weird room and all this stuff. I thought, okay, here we go, here we go. Something's gonna happen. And then it just got really shit. And then it got into a few jump scares. And the whole time I couldn't stop looking at the blonde bitch girl. Like I was just like, are her tits real?
Yeah.
I kept thinking that the whole time, just
Well,
staring at her chest, going,
I know it's
"Are they real
too
tits or
obvious,
not?"
isn't it? I wasn't thinking whether they're real or not. I was just thinking she's just wearing a bra or a top which was way too small for her. And I know that's probably a bit of a Hollywood trick or whatever, but it was too much, too distracting, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really distracting.
Just lame. It was just silly that they even did that. Just the classic buxom blonde just running around. being scared. But yeah, it for me it just felt like the budget, which there was barely any of in the beginning, dwindled to the point where they had literally no money towards the end of the film.
Yeah.
I think we made a better horror film when we were at uni in Norwich in the market called Void.
Void, yeah.
Starring Bob Freeman.
Which we didn't put credits on. Like, why did you put no credits on? It's like, because we didn't want credits.
Yeah.
You should have put credits on. It's like, okay.
But why? We wanted it to end like ominously. That's the point.
We wanted it to stop. Yeah, that's funny.
I think that was better.
Yeah, I think that's better than most horror films these days.
Yes, it's true.
Do you remember how to say, I learned how to, what was it? Help me backwards, or whatever it was. Save me.
It was more than that, wasn't it?
Save me, help me, something like that.
Yeah, and it's fucking awesome, man. It's because we were inspired by Twin Peaks.
Yeah, that's it. And I was like, okay, I've learned it backwards. When we play this forward, what I was going to do is say it backwards, like how I'm talking now, and then we'll reverse it in post, and then it will sound really weird. But do you remember, like when we reversed in post, it sounded like perfect. It sounded like I was just talking normally. So I had to re-record it, dub it over with me saying it weirdly.
Make it sound weirder. And also we did the Silent Hill track over the top, didn't we?
Yeah, that was good.
But I need to find that. I don't know where the fuck it is. It's going to be on some Super 8. Is it even Super 8? No, what the hell?
No, it wasn't Super 8.
It was like
on a
DV cam or something, yeah. It must be there. And also like Johnny's Christmas bum tickler or whatever we did. The Christmas tree one. I was it. We got to find those, but yeah, that horror film. It was cool though because we were, always watch horror films and we used certain camera angles and.
We went for the recce and we're just smoking dope with these tramps.
These two homeless dudes just smoking weed with them.
We're like, this is really dangerous. We could easily just get raped.
Probably, and then probably got diseases as well. So
yeah.
But it wasn't just the voice though. We took frames out, didn't we? So it looked like Silent Hill. So when you're banging on the door, it's like. It was all disjointed and stuff.
They made it stuttery, and I had my head all bandaged up and blood. Shaved chunks out of my hair and all that.
Well, yeah, I know, that was great. Well, we look back at it now like it was a masterpiece, but who the fuck knows what it looks like, really?
I don't know. I reckon, in my head, it still stands out.
Test of the time, man. Yeah, we'll have to try and dig it out. It'll be on a hard drive somewhere. I don't even know if it made onto a hard drive. It was just on some tape.
Yeah.
But there, just goes to show.
Better now. It's a fucked up tape.
Well, that's another thing I was going to say about the Gallows. It annoys me with these. So, for one thing, I thought found footage was finally out of fashion, but obviously not. Another thing, if you could do found footage, there's got to be a reason why the person is carrying the camera, and there is no reason. He's literally just carrying a camera around. So there's no Blair Witch or even like Chronicle kind of way of trying to make it's believable that you would need to be recording everything. And then lastly, the way when it's running away from something scary, and it's like they've run out of scary things, so now they're going to be a hangman. So they're basically just scared of a piece of rope which is just floating around. It's not scary at all. And then just the whole running around and the kind of wreck style where you're running with the camera and the camera starts like cutting in and out and you're getting fake like static and the tape is getting worn. That's just it's so obviously done in post as well. And why even bother doing it? And that's again, it's just an annoying little trick of these cheap paranormal activity knockoffs, really.
Rip-offs. And also there's like a twist at the end, which is like you can kind of see coming.
Yeah.
And then
they don't do it well. Even the twist, they don't reveal it very well. They could have done that.
Just literally cheap and shit.
Camera angle would have been better. A different setup, a bit different lighting. It just, like I said, towards the end, it felt like they started with about $500 budget, and then towards the end, they were like, "Man, we spent that on the first
spent it
day.
on catering."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we spent that on the girls.
Girls' fake boobs, which we needed.
So then the rest of the time, they're just like borrowing stuff off mates and shooting in the school after hours when everyone's gone home. And so that I don't even know how that got onto the cinema and then into my eyeballs.
Really. I mean that's my fault, just because it's just that we need to watch something. Pretty bad. Okay, is that it? I think that's it.
I think so. That's bang on 2 hours.
2 hours, fucking hell. Okay, well, we'll end it there. So you can email us at soggypopcornteam@gmail.com. Again, if you email anything, it will get asked. You can literally just anything you want. You can tweet us at Soggy Popcorn on Twitter. You can go to the website wildboar.com, BORE.com, and just follow stuff. My personal Twitter is at LG45. What else can I plug? Don't know. Just listen to stuff.
Yeah, just stuff. Just keep listening, Just
keep listening. Go back through the feed and listen to our old episodes as well, because they're great.
Yeah, and ask questions about those as well, please.
No, it's not. Just please ask some questions.
Just if you're out there, just make yourself known.
Yeah, please. Just give us a reason to live.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it anyway. And that's the Oscars. So let's see. Tell us what you think will win or don't. I don't care. But yeah. All right. Thanks for listening. And
Right.
see you. Yeah.
Bye.
Dunk.
Bang on 2 hours to the minute. 2 hours.